Subscribe to the all-new HardLore Patreon now for early, ad-free access to every episode and an exclusive episode every month. You, many years ago, had a personal crusade of taking back the F-slur.
I still do. I say it all the time.
Wow. Putting power on it.
Yeah, I say all the time. Beep that out, Steven.
Hello, welcome. It's HardLore time. How are you, Bo?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
Outstanding. It is a very special day
Tell me
here
who we
on
got.
the show. I'll tell you who we got. I'll tell you all about it because this is our third ever in studio HardLore episode.
Oh yeah,
I think
minus me
with a guest.
with a guest. Yeah,
minus you. You don't count here. This who I've got here. She is a true titan in her craft. She's the spin-kicking monarch of what I have officially dubbed progressive emotional metalcore. The singer of SeeYouSpaceCowboy, Connie Sgarbossa. Welcome.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for the title, too. I really appreciate that.
You can have that.
I love it.
I love
How
it.
do you feel about that, Bo?
That's I mean, if you ask someone who's your favorite prog emo core bands right now,
SeeYouSpaceCowboy's got to be. I mean, that's number one. Easy.
they're dominating the charts.
I don't think anybody other band in the world fits that title at the moment.
Yeah, not at the moment, no.
Do you have peers in your musical world? Are there bands that you hear and you're like, they kind of sound like us? That's pretty cool.
There's some like smaller ones,
Yeah.
but like if you're like who's like a band you think like sounds like you that you could take on tour, I'd be like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
That's kind of best case scenario though, because then
it's mixed bills.
You can take anyone on tour and it's all the same. So that kind of rocks.
true.
Yeah.
It's gonna be mixed regardless. You might as well mix it real crazy.
Real good.
You got a tour coming up with the Callous Cowboys, who might have the greatest band of all time. So there you go.
Is it Dow Boy something? Is that like a thing that I don't know about?
I think
I think it's just they switched some letters on Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I spent years trying to figure it out, and someone just told me that. I'm like, okay, I guess that makes
It's unbelievable.
I
sense.
thought maybe they were from a place called Dow. So they were like,
no. I think it wasn't Tao. Some kind of is like a peaceful thing. Right?
Taoism is like a spiritual like form of belief.
isn't that Taoism though? Isn't that with a T?
I thought it was Taoism.
I think it's Tao.
You think it's
Bo.
Tao?
I don't know.
Tao. You're thinking of tow truck.
Oh, dude, I did it again.
T-O-W.
I did it again.
This is classic. This is classic Bao. On your first I call you progressive emotional metalcore because on your first record, you have a song called Stop Calling Us Screamo.
Yes.
Now it seems like you've kind of embraced the term.
So when we made that song, I did it because we were in the Scremo scene. We were like Scremo like expats basically, and we still got lumped into like the Orchid like Jerome's Dream like Scremo scene.
Okay.
And like we're like it's not us. And I think Suicide Boys had that song called Stop Calling Us Horrorcore.
Ah.
So I was like, all right, Stop Calling Us Screamo is like what we're gonna do.
I think Screamo, in my opinion, is derogatory. Like, there's no.
Yeah, I wonder, is that derogatory to you?
For this band, for Cowboy, yes. If you're like talking about like Page 99, like all those old bands from like late 90s, early 2000s, like no. Like I would like, it's weird. The culture, the kids nowadays have taken it and flipped it. So back like 10 years ago when I was like playing in Screamo bands, Scrams was the dirty word.
Right.
Screamo was like the badge of honor.
Right.
Nowadays, everybody like takes Scrams and like, yeah, it's the Scrams band, this, that, and like my like little
Scrams
my
is
head
crazy.
like breaks because I'm just like, that was like a slur. Like you did not
Yeah.
want to be called
It
that
would be
back in
like-
the day. But you know,
It would be like if we started and owned a melodic hardcore band. Like, yeah, we're fucking melodic hardcore.
Yeah, no, 100%. I would say the only times I heard Screamo for real, I mean, I wasn't really involved in that world. Are You a Screamo Band was usually preceded by Hey Foo. Hey Foo, are you a Screamo band? That's the only context I ever heard where it would be like, this is some Screamo shit.
Yeah.
Of like, that's a person who has never heard aggressive music ever.
Yeah.
It's all Screamo.
Yeah.
So really, we're all
We're all Screamo bands. Every single band's a Screamo band.
The amount of times I've heard like it's do you play originals or covers, and like do you sing or is it like Screamo? Those are
Hey Foo. Is it a Screamo
Hey,
band?
fool, you play covers or originals?
Slash, are they Screamo?
Are they Screamo?
So you've owned the term. Screamo's back.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
There's a lot of like really young kids like doing Screamo in like a big way, like selling out like 1720 and shit like that as a Screamo band. Like that's unheard of. Back in the day, like you were lucky if you got 50 kids to show up to the
100%.
show. Like that was crazy.
While selling out 1720, doing Screamo, hard pits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good
yes.
point.
That is the kids are wild. They all show up in like big pants, small shirts, and they give hardcore shows a run for the money at Che. Like I the first time I went to a Screamo show in like recent times, I was like kind of blown away. I'm like, this is what kids are doing nowadays, because like that would not have flown back in the day.
No, they're beating ass mutually.
They would have said, stop that toxic masculine shit, not at my show kind of vibe. Nah, I love it.
There's
I love
nothing,
the kids,
I mean, there's not now, like, I feel like spin kicking in general, kind of inherently feminine, you know?
It's a ballet. It's a ballet
fucking
dance.
ballet. I'm doing ballet out there.
Yeah.
It's a pirouette.
Yeah, it's a pirouette.
Straight up.
The stripper at AVN, the male stripper at AVN,
Yeah.
I was like, can you spin kick? And he threw the most beautiful spin kick I've ever seen.
Woo! Wow.
Like, of course.
He was like, yeah, I can do
of
that.
course.
You can't, loser. So I don't think there's anything toxic, maybe toxic, but not masculine about spin kicking. Spin kicking is toxic femininity.
Dude, no,
Dude, hey, I guess I'm a voice for the trans feminine people, and I'm all about the crowd killing. I'm all about the crowd killing.
Beating ass is toxic gender neutral.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, beating ass is it's low key fun toxic, gender neutral
Fun
for sure.
toxic.
Fun toxic is, you're speaking to the heart, truly. Tell me about Connie before See You Space Cowboy. Tell me about growing up San Diego, getting into this extreme music, getting into Screamo, the royal Screamo. And how did you find this world?
So when I was like 10, my dad like showed me like Black Flag and Circle Jerks and stuff like that. He's like, this is my world. Like at that point, I'd already been listening to like trip hop and the Smiths and Massive Attack and blah blah, like Chemical Brothers. And then he kind of like passed the torch. He's like, this is what I was doing in the 80s and 90s. And so like I got super into like skating, and like punk was my life. And then it was like 2009, I think. And my like friend came to me and said, there's this band called Ceremony, and they're going to be playing this place called the Che Cafe. And it's like a shack in the woods. And I was like, 14 or 15 or something like that. And I'm like, that's so cool. Like we have to go. So we got his mom to drop us off. I went and saw them during like the Violence era, and it like blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, like punk exists like nowadays. Like I didn't know any modern bands other than Trash Talk.
Well, so Ceremony
Ceremony
opened
opened up so many doors for me, and then I learned more about the Che Cafe, and started like going there, just like random shows. I didn't know who was playing. Could be a crust punk band, could be folk punk, could be, and then one time it was a Screamo band.
Okay.
And it like blew my mind. I'm like, this music is like fast and aggressive, but it's like sad. Like this like singer's like hanging himself with a mic over the rafters, and I'm like, this is crazy.
That rafter, how cool is that rafter?
It's awesome.
Great.
The one pole in front of the stage. You got any pictures hanging off that thing?
Yeah,
I for sure do.
I have many upside down, just my legs.
Here's me and Connie hanging next to each other at the Che Cafe.
We've played there, but I never hung from no rafter. Do you remember what Screamo band it was that you saw?
It was 10,000 Leagues, and there was this band called John Cotta, both from the Bay Area / like some people from LA. And it just like opened these doors for me to like find something that was exclusively like mine, and not just like living off like my dad's life of like his generation of punk,
Of course.
I like grabbed onto that. I was like, this is mine. And I started like volunteering at Che.
Oh, awesome.
I would literally like get out of class. Like this was like, we had like shows like 7 days a week back then. I'd get out of class, I hop on the bus from the 101 from Solana Beach down to the Hoya Playhouse, walk to the Che, work a show till like 3 a.m. because punk time was very much alive back then. And then, go home and wake up the next day for high school in like a couple hours and do it all over again. Like that was my life. I was like part of the collective. I became a core member. I could run shows on my own. I had the door code. Like, wow. Just kind of like that became my life. Like DIY hardcore was.
And it's interesting because I said nice to meet you outside, but we've probably run into each other 1,000 times.
I mean, yes, we have probably.
Okay. That's on me.
It's funny that almost turned into like, take the left turn on a magic mountain.
It was literally it's real. It's real. Go out, get off on Mulholland where you belong. Yeah, wow, that's beautiful. Do you have a favorite burrito in San Diego?
See, I'm vegan, so could I go before I was vegan?
Of course.
Yeah, you can go vegan too.
This is your world.
The one I
Cowboys go-tos, we practice at this place called I'm not going to say where it is, but you'll probably find it anyways if you want to come say hi. But there's this dope burrito spot called Rigoberto's. And like that's where we go after every Cowboy practice.
Gotcha.
We're there eating burritos, and I just get like, beans, rice, and fries because I'm vegan.
Have you had that same thing at Trujillo's?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Connie.
Let me tell you a story about Colin in this place. Harm's Way likes this one beach in La Jolla called Black's Beach. We've been there a few times.
I love Black's Beach. I used to surf there.
There you go. So we got shown it on like our first trip there, and ever since we like fell in love with it because it's the coolest looking beach, Pain in the ass to get down to. But so Colin and probably Taylor told us like, yo, if you're in that area, go to this place. How do you say it? Colin, I say it wrong.
Trujillo's. He says it's the bass player of your favorite band.
I say it's Trujillo's or Trijulos.
Trujillo, the bass player of your favorite band of all time.
Yeah, but he's not my favorite bass player. And
Burton's Taco Shop.
No, it's Newstead's Taqueria, bro. But anyway, Colin was like, get me this order and I'll get it later. And this was like noon and the show was going to be at, 8 p.m. And we had a rental car.
I must say ate this burrito about 12 hours later, unrefrigerated.
Oh, I've done that so many times.
And it was unbelievable.
Sitting in a glove box, and I'm watching him slurp up this slot. Oh, my God.
Well, guess what? That just means it was heated up all day. What do you think you're eating at the 7-Eleven taquitos? It's the same deal.
It's hot in San Diego. It's hot in SoCal in general. Like, our food stays moderately temperament.
I don't need a fridge. I need a heater. It's like one of them pizza bags. You kept it in one of them pizza bags for me. Thanks, bro. You got to go to Trujillo's. The one by SDSU. It's It's right there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It is pretty good.
It's good. You got it. But that's my favorite.
Before I was vegan, though,
here we go.
I loved the Roberto's California burrito. Because I would get the breakfast burrito and I'd get the California burrito later. I'd eat 2 burritos a day because I would go surfing in the morning, get a breakfast burrito, and then we'd go and skate all day. And then so we'd hit it for another burrito later in the day, and then we go go do crimes after that.
Of course. What's your favorite crime?
Currently, I like stealing a lot. I like being a little thief. We used to always have one friend who had bolt cutters, like to just steal from his parents. So like any loading dock, chains, we would just clip them, and we'd skate until the cops came, and then we'd run. And the slowest person got caught.
Dude, how funny is it that it's like, sometimes I'll see somebody skateboarding up the street, and it's just the worst form of transportation that exists on the planet. And you just kind of proved it by being like, the cops would come, and we would run. Instead of riding this wheeled vehicle.
Because it was usually like we'd skate like a high school. And like it was like this high school called middle school called Earl Warren in Solana Beach. And we'd skate because it's on a hill. So it'd be like bank, flat, bank, flat, bank, flat, big stairs at the end.
So during the bank, you got to really haul
so you would haul us down, you'd do shit over the flat, and then you go, and we skate that, and the cops would come, and then we would, instead of running to the street where more cops could come, wrangle us, we would run to the field. So we would go, there's a big, tall fence, and like we all learned how to just like do it in one go, just a full like vault over.
Damn, you're doing muscle ups?
Oh, yeah. I could, back then, I could leap like those fences like they're nothing. Like full, just vault over, land on my feet, just keep running. Because I was just so used to always running from the cops.
Speaking of Earl Warren, he was the head of the Warren Commission, which found that Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone shooter. He was also an intelligence officer in D.C. that Kennedy fired
First 3 Sound and Furies took place at Earl Warren Showgrounds in Santa Barbara, California.
Ooh. Think about you're in charge of figuring out who killed the guy who fired you. Huh.
Damn, you're just gonna make some shit up. That guy.
That was definitely him.
Definitely him.
All the facts point to him.
It wasn't me at all.
So,
I wasn't.
Connie, let's talk a distinction between Screamo and Metalcore.
Okay.
You do both.
I do both.
Progressively and emotionally.
So the distinction. It's weird because there are bands that bridge the gap in my opinion. There's like bands like Joshua Fit for Battle, which very Screamo, clean kind of guitar parts, but also have breakdowns. Okay. But it's really fast. Oh. And there's bands like Neil Perry who are borderline metalcore. It's hard to distinguish. Like it's almost like
it's a different language.
Yeah, it's wild.
You almost like go and you listen to Zayo and you're like, that's metalcore. That's really dark, evil, like Christian metalcore.
Are these 3 for 3 Christian so far?
No, the first 2 are Screamo bands. They're very like left leaning. Zayo is Christian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are they still?
I don't know. I didn't ask them when I talked.
It's almost more punk to stay.
I didn't feel it like appropriate.
Hey, you fuck with God still? Or?
I just listened to Where Blood and Fire Brings Rest, and I just appreciate it.
Spin kick.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like hard to distinct. Like there is something to be said about Screamo drums. Usually have this like really rhythmic pattern to them, and they're usually like really bangy and really fast. Not necessarily like a blast beat.
Just like
yeah, and then like it's usually really fast, like strumming. You know, it's always like these like things where you're kind of just like barring and opening and barring and opening, and you usually have a tone that's kind of distorted but also kind of twangy.
Yeah, it's single coil.
Yeah, there's like difference in like sound. It's like almost like you like hear it. There's like little nuances, but they're really close. There are like bands that bridge the gap.
I think it's intention, Bo, much like hardcore and punk.
Yes.
You know?
And
you're playing the same thing, but it's what you're intending to do.
Like not all bands did breakdowns, and they had their like pretty parts, and it was usually like Screamo back then was like you got on the floor, you rolled around, and you were like crying and like,
amazing core. Yeah, some people call that.
Yeah, that's so.
I always heard like Screamo being more like, kind of sassy, kind of spastic.
Yeah,
kind of like this move with the guitar when they're playing and they're doing that thing. Whereas metalcore is a little more like Gothenburg, a little more like. It
is Gothenburg in Sweden.
You know what I mean? Like a little more at the gates.
Gothenburg and Stockholm.
Yeah. You have like your staples, your riffs, and things like that. And it's genres are silly. I don't give a fuck.
Screamo is Gothenburg. Metalcore is Stockholm. You know?
Yeah.
That's the distinction. You can take that as you will.
Is there a Florida equivalent of that? Is there like a Tampa and then the other Florida town?
Pensacola.
Pensacola and Tampa, okay.
Or that works.
That's pretty good.
Tell me about transitioning.
Okay, transitioning was kind of something that was like, it's been a long process for me. I wasn't like one of those people who like jumped like straight into it. I'm like been on hormones for like the 7 years I've been out or whatever. Like just because like touring and stuff, like I'm like on and off with hormones. Sure. I'm trying again now to be like I'm like doing it.
Is that difficult? Like just even taking the stuff with you?
Yeah, I mean it is because like I just do it through like a community clinic.
Oh, cool!
Shout out VCC. So like it's free and it's cool, but it's a little trigger to like get in for appointments and get refills and stuff. I have a new doctor there now who she's just like will give me a year's supply.
Oh, amazing!
Just be like cool.
Do they have a network across the country of like okay, if you're gonna be here and you need stuff?
But you can get prescriptions sent to different places. But transitioning for me is like always like a weird thing. It's purely a physical one. Like emotionally, I haven't changed. Like what I do as a person. Like there are a lot of, like people who come out and they'll immediately become like a caricature of like a woman or a man, and like they'll like put on the dresses, be real pretty. But for me, like I never changed who I was. Still do everything that I do, even if it's not like the stereotypical like what people think of as like a trans woman.
Sure.
So it's kind of just a thing, almost more just like a personal journey, and like almost mostly physical. Like it's cool to like, blend into like women's like circles and like be like accepted and stuff like that. Like if I go out and hang out with like Emma from Dying Wish, or it's like oh, like now, like if there's like the stereotypical like separation, like all the girls go to get ready and the guys are like going watching music videos on the couch, like I go and do my makeup and get ready with them, you know. So like those kinds of things are like validating and nice, and I really like that.
Beautiful.
But for the most part, like I just didn't change as a person.
How early did you know?
I was like questioning a lot throughout like high school, and I was like, I kind of used to like front like very, very masculine when I was like freshman and sophomore, because I like didn't know what these feelings were. So I'm like, oh, I'll like counter it by like always having my shirt off. I was like super muscular back then. I had like a fucking 8-pack. Like I was just like
muscle ups.
I was just like I was just like really masculine back then.
Yeah.
And I kind of started to embrace a bit more femininity in how I dressed and like stuff like that, like junior, senior. And then I moved to San Francisco right after I graduated. And like that's kind of where I was like, oh, bought my first dress, started wearing makeup around like outside in public. And
because outside of Che Cafe, San Diego's like kind of conservative.
It's like a weird mix. It's like neoliberal, like suburban moms who want to be like progressive, but then there's a lot of extremely conservative types too. I mean, we used to have a huge like racist problem. We probably still have a huge racist problem.
Either
San
way,
Diego is the Boston of California.
Yeah.
And either way, neither sides want change. Like a neoliberal versus a conservative Christian. Both of them just want the status quo. So anything different. It
hasn't changed much since I grew up there. Like I'll go to the Solana Beach still, and I'm like, nothing has changed. There's just a different boutique on that corner now. So you know, that's like.
Let me ask you, piggybacking off of Colin's question, how do you find touring in far less progressive places? Like the Midwest or something like
it's a little more guarded for sure. I kind of grew up as the kind of like queer who it was an era more of like you were gonna get in a physical fight on the street if you wanted to like dress a little bit more flamboyantly, and like I grew up as the person who would just like fist fight someone in the street, over it. So like I kind of grew up always fighting for who I am. So I carry that mentality now, but I definitely have eyes on the back of my head. And I am guarded. I like have to be in like those towns. You never know what's gonna happen.
You have to be.
I feel like 2020 to like 2023. I think we had a few very tolerant years in extreme music. And in the past year or two, I've noticed like a crazy rampant uptick in homophobia and transphobia in extreme music. Is that something you have noticed?
Yes, it's bizarre.
That makes no sense.
Even bands that I toured with and were cool with, like it's like stuff's just kind of popping out of nowhere, and I'm just like, it's very odd. Like you were totally chill with me when we toured together. Like what now? Or like even like silly like meme shit, like getting into it with Ronnie Radke or like Chris from Attila.
I just like what is this doing? How is this affecting you? It is. Get over it.
Yeah.
Get a life.
It's the same thing, dude. They're San Diego. They just don't want. No, the status quo is good and we're fine. We don't need change.
It's that thing of like I've said this a lot before, but like things are like a pendulum. So when people like see things swing really far to one side, they almost feel like they're like anticipating the swing back. So like if like they seeing something that makes them a little uncomfortable, instead of like learning and just being like, okay, cool, like maybe I shouldn't like say X, Y, and Z anymore, maybe I should be more respectful of people, this like inner fucking edgelord child in them is just like, oh no, like I got something to say, I'm gonna do it.
And anybody that has problems with like pronouns, the pronouns and bio thing, when people immediately have a problem with that, most of the time, like 99% of the time, that is just there to make somebody else more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like if I have he, him in my thing, it's to make somebody more comfortable with addressing me. It has nothing to do with,
or just more comfortable with putting their preferred in their own.
Yeah, just put it. It doesn't hurt anybody.
No, it's the most minimal, like non-invasive thing, and the pronoun thing is the funniest to me because I can understand someone being like, "Oh, I just don't like you because you're trans." I'm like, that's chill, but being like pronouns. The words, the way that I'm going to use and refer to you in a sentence is not okay.
That's crazy.
My book. I'm like, buddy, you're freaking out over grammar.
Yeah.
You gotta chill.
I love people that say like Jesus didn't use pronouns. And then like Jesus's intro is like, and he said him will be. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's just silly. It's silly reactionary shit. And it's always existed. But like I said, it's better now than it was before. Because like I said, I grew up getting in fist fights over this shit. And it's nice like I haven't had to fight anybody in the street in a while.
And I think now more people just generally Like if somebody online is giving you shit for that, you will have 90% of the people will be there to defend.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is beautiful, and that's not the way it was even 10 years ago.
No. Absolutely not.
So we are in a better place.
We're moving in the right direction.
We're moving. We're not there yet.
Slow. Yeah.
We'll get there. Tell me about, you spoke of the Che Cafe, a place that I also grew up going to. What were some of the like marquee shows there? I know that you mentioned that one already, but what were the shows that kind of defined you and cemented that this was going to be your place and this was going to be your scene growing up?
Let's see. So yeah, the one that I mentioned, like the ceremony one and the 10,000 Leagues one, huge. Midder Deathkill was one.
Really?
Because I didn't really know what that was, and I didn't really know what like hardcore dancing was yet. And I stood at the edge of the pit, and I was like 15 or 16, and
Holy
I
shit.
got rocked.
Oh wow.
My nose was, and I was ironically wearing like a Scremo like sweater, like this Loma Prieta sweater. And
is Loma Prieta Screamo?
Yes, Loma Prieta is Scremo.
Boy, I got no frame of reference. It's wild.
They're on Death Wish. So Death Wish has got Screamo.
Yeah. But yeah, so my nose was fucked. I was a volunteer there already, so I was like bleeding like all over. Like I probably the second most I've ever bled in my life. And I like walked past everybody like to the bathroom. Like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. And I like went in the bathroom and I did this fun thing.
You did it yourself?
Oh yeah.
Gangster.
Because I wasn't gonna go home and wake my parents up at 2 a.m. Be like, I need to go to the hospital. Like, no, I was just like, I'm just gonna do it myself. I was like bleeding like the chase sink all covered in stickers, you know, that blood. It was just blood like everywhere, all over me. God. And so I did that.
So that you felt that and you're like, I gotta do that again.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool,
this.
sick. Like I feel like that was like a crucial point where some people get hit at shows and they're like, oh fuck hardcore, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, that's dope. Like,
wow, you get it.
Yeah.
That separates those who get it and those who don't. Because the mutual understanding of violence in those moments is where you go, oh, this is where I can do this too. I can get this out.
Well, yeah, if I want to, I can do this. And if I want to not get hit, I can move. If I want, I can do whatever.
Yeah. I feel like for me, like, and like this is like where I differentiate from a lot of trans people because they have like a different upbringing than I do. Like I grew up as a skate rat, a surf rat, and I grew up like my friends for fun, circling ourselves under a single lamppost and just fighting each other. You would get put two in the middle.
Just practicing.
Yeah, and you just like get in there. No, it was like people getting hit, and we would like go in and break it up if it was getting like too heated. If somebody was like actually like trying to like slam someone's head in the concrete. We're like, no, like stop. But like so like I grew up in that like skate rat culture, and like. So for like that might be different than like, you know, trans women who's more like artsy and like grew up just like watching like a lot of cartoons, like didn't really, you know, go out. I kind of like
which is okay,
which is fine. Yeah, that's how you grew up. Like
my friends and I played video games.
It makes this like me have this like separation between me and a lot of the trans community, and like I don't have a lot of trans friends because of it, because what I do is like very far removed from like what most people want to do or what you consider like community acceptable, you know.
And I just think that is further proof of it being such a personal journey, and that it is a personal journey to every single person.
Yeah. Okay, but tangent aside, other show, Comeback Kid. I forget what year it was, but I think it was like towards the end of like my high school time. That show's sick. And then William Bonney, I know none of you are gonna know who that is, but they're a Screamo band, played there, and that was a really, really cool show because it was the last show I booked at Che, I think, before I moved to San Francisco. So it's kind of like a cool like last thing for me to like last hurrah before I packed up and went to the Bay.
Connie, you know what I would really like? I would love if you could put together a playlist of like 20 Screamo bands.
I'll do it.
Connie's intro to Screamo. Yeah.
You've listed bands that I've quite literally never heard of before, and I would just like to see what we're talking. What we're getting into.
What is this?
What is this?
Yeah, that's very fun.
Yeah, I can absolutely do that. No problem.
I have heard that aside from all the Screamo, even aside from Ceremony, Murder Death Kill is a good insight into this. I've heard that you're a breakdown enthusiast.
Yes.
Could you, and you can take your time with this, could you give me your breakdown Mount Rushmore? The big four.
All genres.
That no matter where you are, no matter what state of mind you're in, you're pitting.
This one's a little odd because it's not like a heavy breakdown. But Serpents, Zao.
Okay.
The opening breakdown of the Eligio demo.
Okay. I'm unfamiliar. How's it go? Give me the riff.
I cannot do that.
Right.
You have to listen to it. It'll be like a fun surprise.
Okay,
but it is fucked up, and it makes me want to just murder people.
Does it go wah wah?
No, it does not. Surprisingly,
Good.
yeah, it's a really quick one. It's a breakdown you don't expect to hear,
Love
but it's
those.
fucking sick.
Love it.
Tower Snakes.
I mean, come on.
Innocent Bystander. Me and him call it us.
Wow. It's awesome.
Never heard of
but
that.
I love that we just
I
got...
love that I haven't heard
yeah.
3 of them, you know?
Yeah.
Question.
That's beautiful.
Here's a
Yes.
a question for both of you. Where does Converge fall in? With this
Metalcore.
Now, why?
I while I agree, I also think they're in their own lane, you know?
But what's funny
That's
is
the blueprint.
that Converge and Cave In are quite literally
Yeah.
the blueprint of like how to metalcore.
when Connie was describing the drums of Screamo, Colin, you kind of started humming.
I was just doing
vultures
Ben,
without.
Ben.
Yeah, you were doing. You know what I
mean?
I could literally see Ben playing that, so it was just like popped in my head.
Screamo and them were like going around like the same time.
Yeah,
like the same
for sure.
era. Late 90s, early 2000s. Like that was like kind of like that like cool moment in time where like so many genres like split out into different things. You know, like beatdown, like metalcore.
Yep.
You had like Screamo. You had like even like post-hardcore stuff that we do, like At the Drive-In was a band that was around like back then that made
they're in my notes for when we talk about your new record for sure.
So, you know, that was a period of time where like so much divergence into like experimentation of like hardcore. It's like almost like when like punk and hardcore, you had like the emo split off with like Right to Spring and Moss
Embrace,
Icon, and then you like got bands like Heroin out of that and Indian Summer and stuff like that. So like there's a lot of just like cool shit happening back then, you know?
The cross-pollination of genres is generally what brings about the next big thing, you know.
Yeah.
And it is,
because then it's as if they were one thing the whole time.
and it's the coolest part.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Because I'm thinking back when I was first going to shows, and it was like the Lockin' Out. It was like the Lockin' Out and like early Terror era. You would never see any kind of metalcore Screamo band playing any of these. And there was a huge like Screamo scene in DuPage in Illinois, like outside of Chicago. But you would never, they would never play the same shows ever.
Interesting. There was a brief time where I think like in Tampa or something like Under Oath and Terror might play together.
Yeah, I could see that.
But then it was very quickly 2 different worlds.
Yeah, there was like I know that there's some like notable beefs from back then between like Screamo bands and like metalcore bands, like hardcore bands and stuff.
Well, I remember I saw Blood Brothers open for American Nightmare, and that was very like,
Like, wow, they're really doing it.
like they're doing like this is different, like this is strange, you know, because I didn't get it. I had zero reference for that at the time.
Now, Connie, I know you've been in a few bands before SeeYouSpaceCowboy.
Yes.
I found a couple of them.
Oh, okay.
We've got Avari.
Yes.
Tell me about Avari.
Avari was so first I was in this shitty punk band. I'm not gonna name it, so it stays.
Couldn't find that one.
Yes, there's a reason. But I played in that, did like ceremony covers, covered Curse, like everything from like taking influence from Choking Victim to like Ceremony. Like it was just an amalgamation weird band. But me and the guitarist of that band discovered Screamo at the same time. We went to the same show together. So we wanted to start a Screamo band. So we changed the name, started this new band, and that was my first attempt at Screamo, and it's absolutely fucking terrible. But it was
the judge. The link is below.
But it's the first concept album I ever wrote, which is kind of cool.
That's
I wrote a whole
awesome.
story for it, which is like kind of cool. When I look back at it, I'm like, maybe I should like take that. Just like do
Take
it
the
better.
concept?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
Why not write the, look at Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same movie, but better.
Yeah.
Look at Hans Zimmer, Gladiator, Pirates. Come on.
Yeah, you just did it again.
do it better.
But maybe arguably a little worse overall. You know?
I don't know.
So you can do that. You can do that.
But that was cool. It was like my first like true like the first band I viewed as like being creative. Outside of just being like, I heard this, I'm gonna go and make the same thing that I just heard.
Yeah, you came up with a concept in music. That's hard to do.
Oh,
Which, are you a Coheed gal?
First Brigade.
I'm gonna get you into the later
Okay,
stuff too. You know, once I explain the lore to you, you're gonna be like, "This is the best music
Dude,
of
see,
all
I
time."
don't want to have to. All right, go on.
You don't have to. I'm just saying it's better. Here's the thing: if you hear,
I know that one.
and you know what he's talking about, it's fucking lit, dude. We've also got Flowers taped to pens. Tell me about that.
So, Flowers Taped to Pens is a funny band because it's a band that popped up back in my life because of this new resurgence of Screamo. I'll go to shows in San Diego and have a bunch of like kids who are like 16 to like 19 years old.
Gotta bring back Flowers Taped to Pens.
Yes, and I'm like, that band was a really, after Avari left, because like we had like a drummer who was like a metalhead. We had like a bassist who was like into metal, wasn't really into Screamo. We wanted to do more like the twinkly stuff that was like popular at the time.
Sure.
Bands like Merchant Ships, Moe's Pen Pals, I'm sure you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But it was basically like open like capos, and you would just do really pretty twinkly like fun riffs, like American football almost.
Yeah.
But you would scream over them. So they'd be like faster.
Literal. That sounds like actual Screamo.
Yeah, right.
Emo
It's like
with Screamo.
Yeah.
Midwest emo with screaming and breakdowns.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was yeah. So we wanted to do that, and that was like the first band that like I was ever in that got like attention. Like it was the first band to like have people like outside of like the small San Diego scene be like, oh, like this band's cool. Like first time I like shipped out merch to people. First time I ever pressed a
That's a
record
good
for my
feeling.
bands. Like first 7-inch was that band.
First record is a crazy one.
Yeah.
It's a big day.
And it was just fun. Like I think Ethan was 15 when we started that
Wow.
band.
So you were in it with your brother.
I've been in almost every band with Ethan.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
So yeah, it was fun. It was just like the high school angst, sad shit. I hate myself. Like I'm just gonna,
greats,
I'm
all
gonna,
the greats.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll on the floor and scream
yes.
and do shit like that.
How many times
we would destroy our drums?
did
like,
you
we
play
would destroy
Che?
the drums. Oh, dude.
This is made for Che.
Actually, okay. You wanna know what's funny?
You keep count?
Maybe like 3 actually because
Really?
I moved. Right after this, because like it was like this explosion we did. We like our live shows. Like we would like destroy the drum set.
Yeah.
Like at the end of it, like everybody would end up on the floor crying. We were all bummed. I was writing songs about how all my high school friends are like graduating and we're moving away. Like
Damn.
it was like that kind of vibe. So like
Devastating.
we didn't really do a lot with that band.
Okay.
Like we maybe played 7 shows.
Oh
total.
wow. Okay.
But it has this like cult status
living.
It's just weird to me because that band sucks.
You can check it out at the link below. I actually couldn't find the link, so
I'll send you the link.
thank you.
on
It's
Bandcamp.
linked below.
It's also on Spotify. What do you mean you couldn't find it?
It didn't. I linked one thing and it couldn't find it. Then we'll see. Flowers Tape Depends. Another one. Hopefully I'm saying this right. Rene Descartes.
My philosophy teacher would fail you on the spot. Rene Descartes.
Ah.
So that was like
Creme brulee. Tell me about Rene Creme brulee.
So that was like a band where it's me and Ethan and my homie Silas, all from Flowers Tape Depends. We were all living in San Francisco in an apartment together, and we wanted to start a band. It was like the first time like that we like. It's actually the first time I ever done Sasmo was with that band. It was a Screamo band, but it was more artsy. Like we wanted to do things that like you wouldn't necessarily always hear in Screamo songs.
Okay.
It was like the first time like Ethan got to like be main guitar for a band and get creative with shit. So it kind of laid the framework for Cowboy because we started Cowboy like 6 months after that band stopped.
I love how people shorten their own band names.
dude, the Pens
Cowboy.
and Cowboy.
Cowboy.
The Pens.
The Pens.
Pens is amazing.
Cowboy is so fun.
Yeah.
Tongs is good.
But yeah, it was the framework for Cowboy essentially. Just doing weird stuff with music. So yeah, that was fun. It was like super short lived.
Interesting.
So is that all the bands you could find, Kyle?
No, there's one more, and it's the best.
Hit it.
This is the best name. This is the best band name I've ever heard. Meryl Streaker. Please, God, tell me about Meryl Streaker.
So Meryl Streaker was a side project of Flowers Tape Depends, and it was just supposed to be really, really dark emo violence, like just ungodly high shrieking vocals, really dark evil riffs. We were doing things like having waltz parts in a song.
Love that.
And it was just like, yeah, we like Flowers Tape Depends was super upbeat and bubbly, you know, in aesthetic and sound. And we wanted to have, you know, a band that was really, really dark and could have titles like A Mile in Ed Gein's Skin Shoes.
That's fun.
You know.
That's a fun concept. Nobody's ever thought of that.
That's a blast.
Yeah, so it was just dark Screamo, like emo violence. That was just like the opposite of what we were doing.
Emo violence.
Emo violence is hard.
Wow.
Most violence is emotional. So.
Basically, just like the Screamo taken to the extreme, just really, really fast, really dark, really gnarly. Like that's like emo violence. Sometimes those breakdowns. It's kind of dope.
I'm in. So that was Meryl Streeter's vibe.
That was Meryl Streeter's vibe.
Meryl Streeter, unbelievable.
I have a question that I've always wanted to ask you guys in general. I think you and I have only even been in the same room like one other time, kind of.
Okay.
SeeYouSpaceCowboy is from Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
Right? Have you ever gotten into any kind of like just
trademark dispute?
Legal trouble?
Yeah.
No. There's a lot of people who are like, came for the Cowboy Bebop reference. This isn't Cowboy Bebop music,
Really?
kind of shit. Like people think we're gonna like be playing jazz.
Well, now you
know?
got these jazz noir intros
now
on your new
we're kind
record.
of closer.
Those blew me away, by the way.
Thank you.
I was just
It a lot
thinking
of fun.
because it's like naming a band like Over 9,000 or Kakarot or something like.
Or like, I'll be back.
Yeah, like a reference from a major thing.
But I don't think you can trademark just things like that. I don't know.
Like just a phrase.
Though.
No, and I think because you've done it as one word, you can trademark.
Oh, you know that's
Maybe I should.
that's Fall Out Boy lore.
Oh. Is it really?
Fall Out Boy was a Simpsons reference, and they had
Right.
to change how it was all written together because of that. Fall Out Boy is a character.
Oh no, we've never gotten any repercussions or anything.
Crunchyroll, if you're watching.
No, Crunchyroll's my homie. Don't come after me.
Please.
I don't think they would. Alex from Crunchyroll, if you're watching or listening, you gotta get Connie on next. We'll get you on there. Tell me about the first tour you did in any band.
Okay, Meryl Streeter.
Beautiful.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God it's Meryl
So
Streeter.
me, Eric, and Silas with toured with Meryl Streeter alongside this other band from San Diego called Nehru, and we literally just did the West Coast, and we did it in a Volvo hatchback.
Oh
And
my God.
We just like packed a bunch of stuff in the back of it and didn't even like know where we were going or what we were playing. We had a schedule, but none of us had even been like really anywhere that we were going. It was like truly adventure. And we just did it. We went and played a bunch of places and played a lot of basements, and it's a lot of fun. Great intro.
Any fond or not fond memories from that?
Any hiccups?
Not really. Like honestly, it was kind of just like a coming of age like adventure thing.
Yeah.
I was like 18 or something like that. So I was just like, oh, like cool, like we're gonna do this.
And
like,
the frontal lobe's not there. Who
Yeah,
knows
so I
what
was
even
just like-
happened on that thing?
Yeah, it's just like long drives and just in like crammed in this Volvo hatchback.
Beautiful.
Just fun.
A movie.
It's so funny how those first few tours you can do sitting in the back, shoulder to shoulder with someone with gear on your laps for 6 hours, no problem.
It would not fly nowadays. I want my bench in the back that I get to lay down on, and nobody else is putting their stuff on it.
Dude.
If I'm not horizontal, I'm not going.
Yeah, we have a missing bench we took out, and we have what we call the CZ. It's a mattress on the floor. It's like me and Taylor's kind of
So
area.
what does CZ stand for?
Chill zone.
Oh, it's the chill zone.
So we put up ghetto blinders on the windows, so there's no like glare if you're playing video games or if you
Nice.
want to like sleep. So yeah, it's literally everyone else doesn't like going back there, so me and Taylor just
it's-
kind of rule it.
the CZ's all the way in the back.
Yeah, so
See-
it's my back bench,
That
back bench,
rips.
and then the mattress.
Yeah, that rips.
Now that I like, because Acacia Strain on the first tour we did with them, they had the CZ in the front. So like,
No, because everyone's gonna step on
You got to
it.
get through the
Yeah.
chill zone to get to the non-chill zone?
No, because we have a rule: no shoes on the CZ.
No.
So I can vault over the mattress to get to my bench, but everyone else like they have to take their shoes off like they're going in a fucking house. I'll
Smart.
just like propel over.
no shoes in the CZ. No way.
Yeah, no shoes in the CZ. That's where people sleep. It's also mostly for overnight drives.
Yeah.
So like, because if we only have 3 drivers in the band, they don't let me drive because they say I'm a psychopath. AJ's we say he's too gay to drive.
Interesting.
And Jess and Joe just don't. So there's like there's 3 people who drive, so they will do like the one person drives, the other 2 sleep in the CZ,
Right.
And then you
Alternate?
rotate, blah blah blah. Because
Okay.
AJ's a passenger princess, so he lives in the front seat. He chose
That's
to
his
live in the
spot.
front seat. I'm like, I could never. I want to lay down.
100%.
I need my
Some
area.
people can do that, just sleeping like this forever.
Yeah, James can do that. Nick can do that. I can't. I have to be
Can't do it.
horizontal.
No,
Gotta
he's
be
also
horizontal.
a little psychopath and barely sleeps at all.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That will do it. So this is the dynamic now in the band. How's the dynamic between the band now? How did you assemble the Screamo Avengers here?
So, me and Ethan moved. I wasn't gonna laugh, and then you started laughing. And I had to laugh.
He got me.
It's not funny. It's real.
This is my life. Stop joking. So me and Ethan moved back from San Francisco because we were had 5 people in a 1-bedroom apartment, and the living situation kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
So I went up to Jesse Price at a Chase show actually, and I wanted to start a band like Killing the Dream or The Carrier.
Okay.
So that was the original idea for Cowboys. I wanted to do that.
True melodic hardcore.
True melodic hardcore. Like that's what I want to do. There's a band from SoCal called Better Hope Foundation.
Yeah.
That's like what I wanted to do. Like I love that band. Like saw them a bunch growing up. It was like cool. Went to Jesse Price, and he said no. Go talk to Taylor Allen. So I went up to Taylor Allen. And I said, you want to do this with me? He's like, yeah, sure, why not? So I told Ethan, I'm like, hey, we're starting a new band. Learn how to play drums because you're gonna play drums. You'd never played drums before. Like you're gonna do it.
That's fucking awesome.
And then we made back then, you go on Facebook a lot. So we made a secret Facebook group, and we were talking about influences and stuff like that we would do. And somehow the conversation shifted from melodic hardcore to well, what if we put in breakdowns like me and him called Us have? Like, what if we did some Drop Dead Gorgeous stuff? Like, what if we did sass? Like, it slowly morphed to even I Set My Friends on Fire being brought up.
Okay.
And stuff like that. And it just warped in this weird amalgamation of all these bands that we like Blood Brothers and Heavy Vilolo and Fear Before the March of Flames.
And that's all there. I think to this day, that's all still there.
I mean, it's they formed a lot. It's why there's sass and stuff on the beginning. But I couldn't tell you how that wheel got turning. I think is the me and him called us breakdowns that we wanted to do. But yeah, and then there's 3 of us, did the demo. We also had a side project that Timmy and Jesse and me and Taylor and some other people were in. It was a 7-piece grind project that was wanted to be the Locust, Sawtooth Grin, Daughters-esque, with synths and everything too. Yeah. So we had 2 singers, we had a synth player, we had everything. It's called the Shotgun Message.
So that became a little unsustainable.
So our very first EP for Cowboy was actually written for that.
Oh.
So
interesting.
Faster Statement to the Socially Aware was written for this band called the Shotgun Message.
Interesting.
That band fell apart, and we're like, this isn't working. So we brought Jesse and Timmy over and said, you want to join Cowboy? And we brought
Jesse,
the EP.
who said no.
Yes. Because he then said yes. He then wanted to be in the bands. When we started
once the
people.
breakdowns came in.
Yeah. So then, we merged.
Can you blame
everything
him?
together?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I can't blame him.
And that's what
And
Cowboy
here we are.
became. And then we went through a million lineup changes over the last 5 years. And then all the originals came back. Minus
Whole
Jesse.
band.
Really?
Other than Jesse.
Other than Jesse, yeah.
So he was out.
Whoa.
He's still out.
He's out. Yeah.
God damn it, Jesse.
That's crazy that the original.
That is awesome. So 4 out of 5 are OG?
Yeah.
Wow.
Me, Taylor, Ethan, Timmy, and then AJ was actually who we wanted to originally drum for the band a long time ago.
So Ethan's retired.
Ethan plays guitar.
Nice.
And sings now. He's the wife beater man.
That's right.
Kind of vibe.
He's the backbone.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful origin.
Yeah.
So,
Just, hey, do you want to do this? Yep.
yeah.
What if we did it like this? Okay.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm all in. I've heard tell of a legendary bass to the face story.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me what that's about?
Yes, I can.
What happened there?
So there's been many. I've gotten
Many?
hit, even on this tour. I've gotten clocked by Taylor in the eyebrow. But
So
there
he's a
was
menace
one,
with this thing.
Yes, but there was one infamous show in Portland in 2018, I think, at a VFW hall. Pretty sure Emma from Dying Wish booked it, actually.
Gangster.
Yeah. But yeah, so Timmy played bass back then.
Okay.
Our little OC legend. And I was pacing around. I was wearing this white button-down shirt that night. Pacing around behind him. And he swung back. And he clipped me, tuning peg, cut me here. I got like knocked to the ground. Like my mouth immediately filled with blood. I just like spat it like all over the floor, and I'm like, whoa. And so I got up to like finish the song. So it was the first song of the set. Got up to finish the song, and I'm like, cool. Like it really hurts. There's all like warmness on my face. Like I don't know what's happening. I looked at Jesse, and I'm like, how do I look? And he's like, look good. So I was just like bleeding all over myself, all over this like shirt. Played the rest of the set. Had a bunch of adrenaline going. Sent it to VFW Hall. There's medics. And they're taking a look at it like, at first glance, looks okay. Second glance, is like, we can see your teeth through that hole. So you need to like go get stitched up. And so I said no. I said I want to sell merch because like back then we still needed to sell merch to get gas money to get to the next show. So I sat there until it started to hurt a lot, and we're like, okay, go. Yeah. So they drove me. They're like, okay, Connie, we're going to drop you off. We're going to get some vegan pizza. Like, do you want us to get you some? And I said, sure, whatever. They dropped me off at a Catholic hospital in Portland. And I walk in there. God. It's like, there's people in the lobby, blah, blah. I walk in there still bleeding, covered in blood, and they look horrified. And I'm like, hey, like, this, like,
hey, something's wrong with you.
So they sat me down. One person sat me down. I'm not kidding. There's like a bunch of people in the lobby. Within 30 seconds, someone else came to take me to the next room to do information stuff. They didn't even finish that there. They immediately moved me to like a room.
Oh my God.
I like wasn't in that much pain, and I was kind of like, that's cool. Good. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, okay, cool. It doesn't hurt. And I'm like, no. So they stuck a syringe with saline solution through the hole, and at that point, all the pain kicked in at once. I felt everything.
The thumbs up there was awesome.
But yeah, so I got stitched up, and I had to go get them removed on the same tour.
Colin,
but I've also I got hit in the forehead last tour, and that they told me to get that stitched up, and I didn't.
Been there.
So yeah, I've gotten hit a lot. Taylor hits me in the face a lot. He's a psychopath.
What?
Taylor, the current bassist.
You ever catch a tuning peg, Colin?
I never caught a tuning peg. I've delivered a couple microphones, a couple feet for sure. Alec is constantly dodging me. He's really good at it.
James and I have gotten really good at dodging each other, but he clocked me one time in Australia, and he hit my headstock into my own head. And I later on, like I was dizzy and I eventually threw up. I think I was a little concussed from that.
Really?
Yeah.
It caught
he
me
probably was laughing. He was dying.
No, I literally think his response was just like, I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
It's always like that. Taylor is such like a little psychopath that he take his bass off and chuck it in the air, like catch it again. Like he's
Prince.
Constantly moving, constantly like, swinging around. So like I have to watch and dodge for him, or else he will fucking knock me out.
Bass
hasn't knocked me out yet.
Super essential. Yeah,
there is an art to that. Do you guys know the SeeYouSpaceCowboy clip of
yes,
of where it's like dude spinning guitar, guy jumps off full stack, singer dives, like all at the same time. It was like an animated GIF on like the B9 board. I remember, like it's that old.
There's a gnarly one of Howard Jones getting absolutely fucking rocked.
Really?
And not missing a note. It's the hardest spin I've ever seen inside of his face. And he just keeps going. He just looks like, damn, that was crazy. And he keeps going.
I mean, even last night at Brick by Brick, I was like stumbling, and Ethan did like a spin kick with his guitar, and I had to duck. I ducked under his foot.
Already stumbling.
It was like I like kind of fell over here, and I was coming back over here, and I noticed it. I'm like, oh shit, and I like ducked below, and he just kicks right over my head, and I'm just like dodging Taylor, a bass, Ethan and his boots now, and Ethan's guitar.
That's what it's all about.
You ever see that clip of Prince throwing the guitar and it just never lands?
No, it's unbelievable after the solo, right?
Yeah, where the
to
hell?
this day, it's still being
still
caught.
in the air.
It's still there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's good shit. I hear you're a big gamer. Is that true?
I was back in the day. I don't play a lot now, but PS2 era. And
PS2?
Yeah.
That's so fucking long ago.
Yeah. Well,
so you fell off for real.
Yeah, like PS3 might have been the last console I owned, other than like I take my SNES with me, and I have a Switch. I just don't play it a lot.
Yeah.
So somebody lied to me with this big gamer talk. You're medium, light to medium gamer.
I'm a classic gamer.
Okay.
I was there for the biggest moments in gaming. Fucking
PS2 is still the highest selling console of all time.
Yeah,
so like I was there for that, and I played religiously, like JRPGs, weird action RPGs, Sly Cooper.
You're a Persona chick.
Yeah, I like Persona. I've gone back and replayed like classic games, because of the emulators and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but I don't like dedicate myself to video games as much like anymore.
Let me tell you something. They're pretty good.
I know
They're pretty good.
I'm sure they're great.
There's some good ones out.
Taylor literally plays his Steam Deck every single day, and Ethan's like constantly on his PS5.
So they get it.
They get it.
You should look. They're pretty good now.
There is a.
They look great, and I love it, but
You should check it out.
I got shit to do.
There's a Fallout 4 console update coming out tomorrow, which is Friday. 60 FPS, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, but it's gonna still look like garbage, probably, right?
It looks great. You load up some
Just
mods.
go play Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout 3 smokes Fallout 4, but I do like Fallout 4.
See that's a game I played back in the day.
It's pretty good, right?
It's great.
Fallout 3 is clunky and slow. The story's great. New Vegas is good.
Dope.
Story's unbelievable, dude. Liam Neeson,
He's great.
yeah, it's good stuff. Let me ask you something, Bob. I don't think we've ever even talked about this on here. What are some daily pet peeves that you guys have to deal with that you don't like? I'll tell you one. I'll give you an example right off the bat.
Like on tour?
No, like in your life.
Okay.
I'll give you an example right off the bat. And Bo, I think I don't know if I've told you this before, but this is a thing I deal with constantly.
Okay.
I hate dropping things.
Oh,
I hate bending over to pick up something I've dropped. If I'm at Target and I drop a thing, it's staying there. I apologize to the Target employees.
Can I tell you something?
I hate picking stuff up. Yeah.
I have been bragging to Taylor that my reflexes, I'm like on my Spider-Man shit right now. I can't drop anything lately.
Yeah.
I just catch stuff. And I literally bragged about this yesterday. I went to the gym last night and she stayed here. Caught a fly at the gym. Sent her a picture of it in my hand. Here's the picture.
I'll tell you who's good at catching flies. Lana Young.
Really?
I think it's an autism thing.
What are you saying?
I'm just telling. In her. Sure, her reflexes are unbelievable. I'm just, unrelated.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I agree with you. Dropping something,
It's humiliating.
I don't not make a noise.
Keys?
Oh,
Keys are the
Then
worst.
they explode on the ground.
They make a terrible noise. It's just like.
I hate it.
I think dropping a drink is probably the worst possible thing.
I mean, that's suicide.
Does that
for
happen
me.
to you daily?
No, but I'm just saying. Well, wait, Colin,
No, that's a nightmare.
Are you dropping something daily?
Every day.
You drop something
And it's the worst. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to me every day.
A pet peeve of mine, this is pretty general. I would say just like not holding a door for someone. I just went to a coffee shop like 2 hours ago, and the guy, literally, he was close enough to me to where if I reached out to touch him, I could have. Didn't hold the door for me. He just kept walking.
Or when they don't say thank you.
You should have touched them. You should have just grabbed
be
them.
like,
Hey,
Hold this for me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or when you do it and they don't say thank you.
Dude.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll hit it. You're fucking welcome all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I made a gesture at him where I was like, thanks, man. Kind of thing. Like,
You're like, what the,
Fuck
what
you
the fuck?
That's a good one. What are some of yours?
So this is one that does have to do with tour, because this happens every morning I wake up. It's the weird passive aggressive, like who's gonna wake up earlier to get in the shower. Because every member of my band takes forever in the bathroom and shower. They all have little morning routines they want to do, myself included. I'm not gonna say that I don't. You know, I have my lush body wash. And I want to get all clean in the shower.
Your presentation is part of the band. You know, it must be accepted that this is part of the magic.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you're the first person to ever acknowledge that. So I'm glad you're speaking that.
It's out there now. Okay.
But you know what?
Exactly.
I've turned into, because of that, Connie, because there are, when we used to all share one room, certain people would take really long showers, and we figured it out. We figured it out that
Chris Mills.
I'll shower first because I'm done in under. Colin, you know how fast I get ready.
You're unbelievable.
I'm done showering and ready to go. I like to get in bed clean.
Connie, say what you will about Bo.
Okay.
Please. Please. He gets ready very fast.
I love to get ready.
I mean, dude, hey, if you're just gonna ride dirty, like, Go for it.
No, he doesn't. Right? He's grinding clean
quick.
immediately.
Do you not get in the shower and be like, oh, so
he
nice.
does it all. No, that's the crazy part.
You don't like
say
just,
what you will
hang
about
out.
it.
You don't want to hang out in the shower?
I prioritize sleeping as long as possible, and I forfeit.
He really does.
I forfeit.
Say what you will about it.
I mean, that's fine. Me, I like to get in the shower and like really sit there and just like let the water run on me and get ready. So like me and Timmy are the two early risers in the band. And it really like if I'm not like hungover, if I'm hungover, then I'm not gonna wake up.
How often does that happen?
Very rarely nowadays.
Nice.
I think the only time I've gotten drunk in this tour is like one day. So I used to be every day. I would roll into the van drunk and roll out of it drunk. But for the most part, like me and Timmy would get at the same time. And we do this thing where we both acknowledge the other person's awake. And it's kind of like almost like a quick draw. Like who's going to like be the asshole to just like get up and get in the shower first? Like, are you going to ask me? Are we going to talk about this?
Timmy plays guitar.
He plays guitar, yeah. He's a guitarist with the glasses. He's our spicy white boy.
Okay. I love a spicy white boy. Here's the thing. He's not as dirty as you probably are. As the singer.
No, he sweats like a motherfucker.
Well,
so he is dirtier than anybody else in this band.
Then you kind of got to give it to him.
No.
Fair.
I want to get in there first.
What about alternating every other night?
The thing is, we don't talk about it. The fun of it is that this happens every morning and we don't discuss it. It's just like,
you both hate it.
Yeah.
And you don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's just like, it's always a thing of like, Timmy, are you going to start walking to the shower? I'm going to get up and get in there first.
It's always the exact same time too, right?
Oh yeah, it's always early in the morning.
Dude, when we were first touring, you would like get in the room and you would go and grab a towel and hide it. Like just low down, dirty practices.
Well, we stay in suites.
Format. Ooh.
So,
couch.
like pull-out couch, the two beds, the kitchen, like the home twos have like a kitchen in them, like fridge. They gave us like 6 towels. So
yeah.
But back in the early Cowboy days, there was always a war over who's gonna have to ask for more towels.
Oh yeah, dude, Nick will just do it. He'll just call and he just bites the bullet. It's amazing.
It can and should be that easy.
I know.
Yeah, but a bunch of like just like dumbass musicians in the room be like, no, dude, I'm getting the towel. You fucking go get the other one. Like, go to the counter. Go to the fucking desk.
Those extended stays and home twos, they can be so sketchy.
100%.
Because it's
like that's our home.
It's
that's
like a
home
family.
Too, homie.
My fault.
Yeah.
My fault.
It's full of families who like had their house burned down or something. So like,
yeah, they live there. I've told you about the Memphis Motel 6 where we pulled up. There's one room open because every other room is someone's home.
Yeah.
And
when you park in somebody's spot, the guy comes out and goes, "Hey, you're in my spot." And we say, "Fuck you." And then the rest of the motel comes out and is like, "Got a problem, Earl? Earl, you good?" And then we're like, "Nah, we'll park somewhere else."
Yeah, enjoy your spot, sir. All right, Earl.
I don't know. I just feel like it's nice, better than getting multiple rooms because like everyone's in there. We like to hang out. They usually have like a smart TV, so and you can cook food. Like the ones that have like the full like stove and everything.
You cooking on tour?
Yeah, we'll cook sometimes.
Really?
Like if it's like a day where we can like get groceries or like no Taco Bell's open. Cause like we're vegans, so like our options are limited. Everybody but Timmy. Timmy's vegetarian.
So Timmy is your greatest op. Timmy is enemy number one.
Absolutely. Me, Ethan, give him so much shit because Ethan is probably the most militant vegan in our band. Like he's the most just like, why aren't you vegan? You need to be vegan. Like give me an ethical reason why you aren't vegan. Like he's like that guy.
Wow.
But like, I will also bully him too because I just want to be an all vegan band, and I don't know why he's been a year vegetarian. And I'm just like, dude, like just stop eating cheese.
1 year?
Fuck? Yeah.
What was he before?
He ate meat.
Hey, that's a big. He's trying.
That's big. Yeah, he's doing his best. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I can promise. I was vegan for 32 days once. Ask me anything. It's hard. It's hard to do.
I've been vegan for 7 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
What do you miss the most?
Sashimi.
Oh, really?
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Sometimes when you want a delicious meal that won't fill you up and cost you an arm and a leg.
Sashimi?
Yeah. Also, pepperoni pizza.
Pepperoni's good.
Yeah,
pepperoni's good.
Colin, I gotta take you to a place, man. Professor Pizza.
I'm on my way.
Dude.
What do you... I mean, obviously, touring 10 years ago, being vegan, very difficult.
Yeah.
Touring now, being vegan, kind of a borderline cheating at this point.
It's a little easy now.
There's an alternative for everything.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Well, back when I first went vegan, like Beyond Meat was just becoming a thing. So I was like at the edge of you're eating beans and rice or you're just like eating French fries at the restaurant era. Yeah. So I watched it become better and better and better over like my time being vegan. So yeah, I've heard the horror stories.
Yeah, we talked to Carl about it, and I wish we would have gotten into it more because I just can't imagine touring in the 90s.
Yeah.
Without a smartphone, without any way to look up where the fuck you can eat.
And that's your thing, is that you're vegan.
And then you're vegan.
Well, you could always be what we call a potato vegan. Which means you are that homie who just goes to any place and just gets like the most plain, just like a side of fries. But nowadays, like, yeah, it's so much better. Like, you don't have to carry around a bag of rice and beans with you to, like, cook.
My God.
Like,
oh, my God.
Like,
I mean, that's real. You are for those fucking animals. If you're carrying around sacks of rice and beans, you love animals.
That was a tech. That was a tech that people would do. I toured with bands who, like, they would bring, like, a pot, and they'd have a bag of rice and a bag of beans, and they would cook it at people's houses. So they make, like, weird shit like vegan chili dogs and stuff like that. They go against like veggie dogs and do stuff like that. Because that was back when we'd sleep on people's floors too. Yeah. So they would just like ask like, hey, like, can we also like cook in your kitchen?
I think Anthony. So Anthony from Ceremony specifically is probably my closest vegan friend. And I'll call him sometimes and he'll just be like, yeah, I'm just making some lentils.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to
lentils are so good.
But you don't have to just eat the lentils. I think he's scarred from the years of...
You want to know what's funny? So back, Che used to like actually cook food out of the kitchen. They don't really do it as much anymore. But back in the day, we would feed touring bands.
I've definitely had some Che food.
Yeah. Yep. So one of the things that we would make is a lentil stew. And we put it over white rice. And that is the most boring thing in like when you think about it in your head. But I crave that so much because it's tied to memories of working the front door and asking, hey, can you bring me a bowl of like white rice and lentils? It's really cold outside. Yeah. And like you're also drinking like a cup of coffee at like 10 o'clock at night. Like I crave that exact bowl of lentil stew and white rice.
And you're on the set of fucking Jurassic Park out there too. It looks so crazy out there.
The forest was gnarlier back then.
Oh
too.
Yeah, big time.
It's cleared up now. It's a little nicer and it's not as sketchy. But back then, it's like you would like go in there to like you just be people like fucking, people doing drugs, drinking. Like that's what the forest was for.
You ever looked at
the Che Cafe? What did you say?
I was just gonna say, you ever looked at the macros of lentils? They're amazing.
Is it crazy?
It's crazy.
Really?
Protein, good carbs, lots of fiber.
Really? Oh, because is it a legume?
It is a legume.
Yeah, but like,
is it a pea?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because pea protein is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it is similar. I know that like a cup of green lentils is like 19 grams of protein or something.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a good source. It's a healthy, good thing for you. That's like why we would make this. It's like you could subsist on that for like quite a while.
Anthony's onto something.
He knows what's up.
I was gonna say in the Che Cafe parking lot one time, it was the first time I ever rode a Lime scooter.
Oh, beautiful.
And you would think this story would end in disaster.
Yeah.
But it was the most beautiful skirt I ever skirted. And on anything in my whole life, the coolest entrance I've ever made anywhere was on a Lime scooter in the Che Cafe parking lot.
There's a lot
Can
of
I
stuff
tell you
that's
something?
happened in that parking lot.
Yeah.
So you know I'm a lime.
You are. That is your car.
I'm a limer. I'm looking at my Lime app right now. Miles ridden, 346.1 miles lifetime.
Holy shit.
Rides,
oh my God.
This is actually crazy. Rides, 346 rides. So I'm averaging a mile a ride.
This guy limes.
Yeah, dude, you really are a hardcore limer.
These are for real limers.
I don't have a car, and I live in a city where they're all over the place. I love them. I use them all the time.
Can't believe Lime.
Dude, they got ones with under the seat. There's storage now, so you can like get groceries and put them under the seat. It's amazing.
What has happened?
It's the best.
So SeeYouSpaceCowboy is a great example. One of the best examples, really, from start to finish in the discography. You can hear a straight through line. You know, it is an evolution without a change.
Yeah,
and I think like you understood what your audience continued to want from you over time. How conscious was that? And is it the kind of thing where when you go into a record, you've got a new thing that you're into and you're like, I want to bring this into the band now. Like with the jazz noir intros on this new one, I genuinely could not believe. What is her name? Iris.
Yeah.
She crushed that.
Yeah.
She's fucking awesome.
Wait, sorry.
I don't know. Just I was really blown away by those. Just like having the fucking Bond themes come in on the intro and the interlude. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just See You Space Cowboy is a band where I listen to and I go, what do they like?
Oh,
because there's so many elements here.
Yeah.
Like literally, so yeah, like the history of Cowboy goes like we started as like a grind band. We wanted to like take from like the Locust, like the 31G weirdness of San Diego, Swing Kids, like Daughters, blah blah, whatever, Drop Dead Gorgeous. Like I think a melting pot, and that kind of like set our like little like thesis statement almost of like Cowboy is going to be whatever we want to make at the time. So like that's like why, even though there's an evolution, every release is different. You grind, like more like metalcore, and then it's post-hardcore, and then it's like whatever Ghotsts is.
Screamo
like,
jazz.
Yeah, Screamo jazz, dancey, indie rock. Because like we always like have this like little mission statement in our heads of just we're gonna make like what we want. So like if you like go to the new record, I came up with this whole like visual look and stuff before we even like knew what we were gonna write, because I was like thinking about like Moulin Rouge. I was thinking about like noir pulp novels, like old 50s lesbian pulp novels, and like,
I couldn't hear it.
Things that like I love visually.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went to Timmy. I'm like, yo, like, I have this idea. Like, I want to do this.
Sexy.
So I talked to him. Like, what can we do with this? And we both kind of talked, and we were both huge fans of dancey indie rock in the mid 2000s. So like Two Little Cinema Club, Foal's first album, like Block Party, like even like Interpol, like all these things.
Yeah.
And we were like, what if we like found a way to like put that in there, like add that to the sound of Cowboy, because that almost fits into like the Blood Brothers sassiness, and we can do like melodrama of like post-hardcore still, and we can like wrap it up all in this like noir kind of crazy bow. And like that's where the commitment to even the jazz tracks came from.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
Timmy was like, if we're gonna do that, I want to write these interludes.
So that was those were Timmy?
Yeah, so Timmy wrote them. I wrote the spoken word. Timmy wrote the melodies and the lyrics, and yeah, it was like kind of like this like cool thing that was just like about like commitment. It's like, okay, we're gonna do this, like we're gonna write a full blown indie rock track. Like just do it. Like we're like we need to like commit to it, because like it's always gonna be that blender mentality for us. What do you like right now? Like what are you remembering fondly? Like what do you like? What do you want to throw it in there? Like we don't say no in Cowboy. Toss it in the blender. Like I don't care. You want dancey indie rock, it's going in a song that also has gnarly breakdowns. Like I don't care. Like and so it comes to these like cool little things where it's like for me, like especially like as like because other than Cowboy, I'm a creative director for like other bands and stuff for visuals. So like I get to like kind of like learn the tricks of the trade through my own band, like do stuff like this where I have a hand in every single thing, and I have my little creative director credit for every single visual part of this record, and then like apply that to like other bands. Be like, hey, you really like how cohesive and like cool that is? Pay me some money, and I'll do it for your band too.
So where does Isaac come into that?
So Isaac came into it where he normally comes in, where it's like we kind of like usually, and we did this for Romance as well. We wrote a bunch of songs. Romance, we wrote like 30 songs. It was a little egregious. And we went to him and we cut them all down and shit. But for this record, we didn't cut any songs in this record. We cut one, I think the very first song we wrote that we realized was just crashy part breakdown. And we're like, that's needs more to it than that. Gotcha. But yeah, so we wrote these songs, and we had this idea of like what we wanted to be like, and we were like, cool. Like we booked the time with Matt Squire. Like we'd already done everything like that. Like that kind of fell perfectly into place for us. And so we hit up Isaac like, yo, like I know you like weird shit just like us. I know that you're down to write weird shit with us too. So like we went to him, spent 10 days with him, cranked out like a bunch of cool songs. I think it was like more like 5 days actually. It was not 10 days this time. It was like 5 days, 4 or 5 days, and we wrote like 1 to 2 songs a day.
Oh, that's amazing.
And you know, Isaac is just like the kind of person who like you can bring him anything, and he's like, oh yeah, I like that.
He just loves music.
So like when we brought to him that we wanted to like do this crazy idea of like, hey, we're doing a cabaret, dancey, crazy record. and we want to do a song that takes influence from Animali by Incubus. And he's just like, cool, let's do it. Do it right now. Which is like to other
Few
producers,
people would immediately get that.
Yeah, no, to like other people that'd be like, what do you mean you
Yeah.
want to take influence from like Incubus? I'm like, no, like Incubus. Like, and he's just like, yeah. So like we mesh so well with him. I don't think I ever want to write a record without his input in some way.
He's got quite a brain in there.
Quite a one of a kind
Yes.
brain going on there.
Truly one of a kind. It's very impressive.
I'm gonna go see him tomorrow, so gotta thank him again.
Love it. So the thing that what you pointed out is that like even though there is this through line, that through line is you.
It's the mentality.
It's the mentality, and it's the members of the band.
Yeah.
Is like no matter what you're adding, no matter what you're consciously trying to include, it's like still you. It's your hearts are writing this music, and you can tell.
It's us. It's our ethos. It's our thesis. It's like our mission statement. Like it's always been that, and like that's why there are records that like I don't like the correlation between Entrance and Exit Wounds. I don't think that's a bad record, but that was a record that like it was a weird time in Cowboy, so it's a little bit more straightforward of a record. There's not much like sassing on there. It's just kind of like, you know, it's like it was like a really dark time in our lives. Like I was going through a lot personally, and Jesse wanted to write this record that we wrote, and so like it is so reflective of us, and like that's what I want every record to be like. It should be a mirror to like what the members of that band are dealing with at that time.
100%.
You know?
And you know what's so funny, Colin, about how you described how you said it's the members, it's the hearts, it's their ethos. It doesn't matter what's put. It's a perfect example for what hardcore is. It's what we talk about all the time. That's all that matters is exactly what you described. So in a sense, Cowboys.
Yeah, for me, like I know that people don't put us into like the hardcore category a lot, but like to me, like Cowboy's a hardcore band. Nothing about my mentality has changed since like what I was doing back way when I was a kid. And like that, it's super important to us. It's not about being commercial. It's not about being like on the radio. It's not about doing anything to appease anybody but ourselves. And like doing like even like last night, like our shows like aren't like mallcore shows. Like we had too many people stage diving at once. Like everyone's getting dropped. Like people are like going crazy. Beautiful. And like that's what I want.
Yeah.
You know, I want that energy. I want that because that's like what I want to do.
That's the thing is that don't matter really what you're playing. It's your intention. It's your ethos.
I want people cartwheeling off stages, diving feet first if they want to, like go fucking crazy, kill each other, like have fun.
Preach.
Yeah.
Pure Noise. You've been with them from the jump, right?
Yeah.
How's that been?
It's cool. I mean, you know, with any relationship, it's fucking you like growing pains with anybody, and like growing pains for us as a band. But I feel like over the years we've like gotten the understanding, and like you know, I like to like even like talk to like employees of Pure Noise. They'll just like text me like, hey, what's up?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Is Cahill your main guy there?
Cahill's like one of the guys I talk to a lot.
That's my guy.
Everything works out a lot better. You know, now that we've kind of like proven ourselves a bit like over the years and been like, hey, you can trust me. I have a vision. Like trust me. Like because you know if you went to most labels or management or anything and said, I know that like the last like post-hardcore record was really cool, but we're doing like indie rock songs this time. Actually, like there's gonna be indie rock. Like even Colin Feeney was like losing his fucking mind. Every day I come home from riding with Isaac and be like, we wrote a really sick indie rock song today, Colin. He's like, what? You did what? He's like, you need to be writing like a metalcore. I'm like, no, this is cool.
But the thing is, like, out of context, like if
sounds crazy.
It does, and like even before your record came out, there would be like a reel, like an Instagram reel of like part of a song, and I'd be like, damn, this is what they sound like.
Yeah, right.
And then when you listen to the full record, everything makes it doesn't sit in a way where you're like, why are they doing this? Sit in a way where they're like, oh, that only helps the song. So that's very cool. Yeah, it makes sense. All right. Something we've been asking everybody. SeeYouSpaceCowboy is a hardcore band.
Yes.
And I want to know we call it Lettermoshed. Your top 4.
Oh, my top 4?
Hardcore records of all time.
Okay. So let's run the gambit. Devoid of Everything, Left for Dead.
Great pick.
Good answer.
Forever War, Kickback.
Oh my God, you're awesome.
Beyond Repair, Throwdown, and Shape of Punk to Come, Refuse It.
Wow.
I think that's
wow.
Those are probably my top 4 that like encompassing a wide variety of hardcore.
Big time.
What hardcore is to me,
And you fired those out.
I've been putting on Beyond Repair a lot recently, actually.
It's a great record.
Like once a week for the last couple months. I don't know why. I've just been in the mood.
I've been putting on Forever War about once a week for the last 20 years of my life. So that's fantastic.
I just feel like for me, like Left 4 Dead covers that like punk hardcore, like the stuff that like I
it's
like.
Still hard.
It's still hard. Still is like Skin Grass, one of the fucking hardest songs ever. I saw Dead in the Dirt cover it like way back in the day, and I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah. This song is insane. Kickback, self-explanatory.
Scary, violent.
Throw down, self-explanatory. But like Shape of Punk to Come Refused is like a record that I'm like, that was a hardcore record. Even if it pushed into that like post-hardcore territory.
Yeah.
It's such a cool record to me as an experimental thing that I'm just like, that is kinetic. That
it was the Shape of Punk to Come, for better or worse.
Yes, yeah. As much as that is a crazy thing to name your record.
So cool.
That record did change a lot.
It did. For better or worse.
Oh.
What were you going to say, Bo?
I said that's so cool. Naming your record something like that is akin. It's the same thing as, 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. It's the same.
Oh my God. That's the sickest shit ever. Yes. 50 million Refused fans might be wrong.
Or probably wrong about that.
Crazy question for you.
Okay, what?
And I don't know about San Diego's history with this. You believe in ghosts?
No.
Yes.
Instant, immediate no.
That's
heartbreaking no.
Yeah.
Tell me
So you
why.
never seen nothing that you question in your whole life?
No, I'm like a boring like existentialist. Like, I don't believe in spirituality. Well,
I mean, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I don't think the ghosts are
I don't
spiritual
believe in
at all.
anything outside of our physical beings.
Okay.
Now let me
I'm boring like that. I know. Everybody I tell it to,
No,
gets
he's very happy with you.
Gets really upset at me. Is like, really, like, not this, like, you don't like feel like the spirit of your dead grandma. I'm like, no.
No, I agree with that. I don't think that's real. My grandma's fucking out of here. She's burning in hell.
Oh fuck!
What? Whoa.
I was gonna say to play devil's advocate, Connie, because I do agree with you, but there are many things that our physical bodies can't decipher: ultraviolet waves, microwaves, radio waves, X-rays, stuff like that. That we need.
I can decipher all.
That
of
we
those.
need things to kind of figure out what it is.
Yeah, but that's like science. That's like a understanding of the way that, like, it's just because like we don't see the process of our eyes like interpreting with everything around us and the refraction and stuff that happens. Doesn't mean that like you can just be like magically your eyes just see everything.
I've literally seen everything. You guys don't understand.
You've never. Oh yeah, I guess never mind.
What?
I was gonna say you've never seen a ghost, but I forgot about the girl. I forgot.
I've seen a ghost. I've seen her. Okay.
Did you like Scooby Doo run away?
No, I didn't process it until a few minutes later that I had seen a ghost. You wouldn't know anything about that.
No, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Connie, what about aliens?
Aliens is plausible. I don't know if I necessarily agree that like we have aliens coming and visiting us, but the notion that we're the only things that are alive in the entire infinite expanse of the universe is a little crazy to me.
Poppycock.
Not on some like conspiracy shit that aliens are here, but I do believe that there has to be life in the universe. There's got to be something there, even if it's like amoebas on another fucking planet, like something.
Because what a waste it would be if it was just us.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you a Zodiac girly at all?
No.
Yeah. Fuck that shit.
No.
I'm not.
Literally, like I am the most boring person ever in that way of like I have just like a firm feet on the ground, like.
What time were you born?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I don't know what that means.
What is your sign? Do you know?
Aries.
That means
I have no idea.
I'm a ram.
Well, the thing that's funny is Colin, and I've said this before, is the most stereotypical Virgo. Like all the characteristics of what a Virgo man is, Colin 1000% is. It's actually crazy, and it frustrates me. It frustrates me so much.
Say what you will about Bo.
Hey, I've been told that I'm a stereotypical Aries.
Really?
But I'm just like, that's just coincidence.
Yeah,
100%.
I don't
I'm just an angry person.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't prescribe.
100%. Yeah. Do you have a favorite tour you've ever done? Favorite single tour where you look back and go, that was the one?
I do, actually.
I love it.
And it was the Counterparts, Us as Direct Support, Dying Wish, Foreign Hands.
That's a good tour.
Hell of a lineup.
It was the homie lineup, and it was fucking sick.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just wall to wall great shows.
Yeah, I mean I've never had a better time until maybe this Better Lovers tour. Some of these shows have been crazy enough to like give it a run for the money, but up to that point, that was the craziest tour we ever had. for like a crowd reaction for us during our set as like direct support.
That was the
first time I ever experienced it.
It's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling because then you're like, yeah, you know what's next, motherfuckers? We're headlining next time we're here.
Pressure's so off for direct support,
dude. For that Hatebreed and for Kublai, we're direct support for Kublai.
Oh my god!
And Hatebreed, we're 2 of 4.
Yeah, you're gonna have the best time.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Lucky. Is there, other than maybe, getting your cheek ripped off by headstock, is there a worse day on tour that you can think of?
Yes.
That doesn't even sound that bad. It sounds like you were kind of having a good time.
I was chilling. When we were first a little band, we went on a tour in Ethan's 4Runner. And we were towing a U-Haul trailer behind, and we didn't really know about getting.
What's the tow capacity on that son of a bitch?
I don't know. All I know is it wasn't enough, and we were sitting in the. I was like laying in the trunk, the whole tour.
Perfect.
But we didn't really know about being safe with the van, with the trailer and the 4Runner. So we left it parked on the corner in Portland by the Hawthorne because we were playing a house show at a house nearby. We left it there for 2 days. On the morning of the 3rd, I walked out to no trailer and a clip lock on the ground.
Hell yeah.
And I think that was a really heartbreaking moment because we were also a vintage gear band before that. So it wasn't like, oh, just go replace it real easy. It was like everybody's vintage shit they've been collecting is gone.
That's devastating.
Yeah. I can think of the worst day for somebody else at one of my shows.
Was it Timmy?
A really funny show. First time I ever went to upstate New York. Played in this community center. They had a full walls, and this was back when Cowboy was violent shows. It was before the clean singing. It was just nothing but dun dun wee wee and 2-stepping.
Love it.
Some kid got kicked through the full wall window.
Through the window?
Through the window.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, shattered the whole thing.
That's the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, shit.
We thought the show was over. We're like, oh, that's it. We're done. They literally pushed a couch over the glass, and we're like, yeah, keep it going. So we restarted the breakdown. That incident.
That's the best move ever, dude.
That's beautiful.
The kid was fine. He sent us a picture. We sent him a record because while he's in the hospital, and he's all good. But it was just a moment where I've never just been like, what the fuck? Because it's a full wall with glass window, and he just got kicked
tempered
clean
glass.
Through it. Don't know what kind of glass it was, but he
tempered
got
glass is the
it.
one where if it breaks, the whole thing explodes.
It's I don't know. It was chunks of glass that was cutting him up. So
that might be
not tempered.
That might be.
It wasn't like a windshield. That's for sure. It was like a window. You threw a ball through the window.
Yeah, that might just be like pane glass. You ever see Ghotsts, dude? The end of Ghotsts when the glass falls.
Yes.
And then
dude, that part's scary.
Scary as fuck.
And that guy is hideous.
Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, one of the greats, really. Whoopi Goldberg Academy Award.
That's unbelievable.
It's so
Did she really
sick.
Get...
Yes.
Ooh.
You in danger, girl.
Movie's
that's good shit.
Swayze, dude.
Who? Come on. I got a Swayze DVD collection. I've never talked about it. Anyway.
Roadhouse?
Oh, yeah.
Watched Roadhouse at house in Louisville, Kentucky right before his tour.
How good did that feel?
Felt great.
You felt powerful.
Felt powerful. I was ready to pit.
That
violent movie.
We don't need to go on a tangent, but that movie's hilarious because it's a pretty not serious, but it's dramatic and blah blah blah. There's a build up, and then the end is nah.
Yeah. It's like a Grease ending.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's crazy.
And Terry Funk, dude, come on.
Yeah, it's got it all. Something we ask every guest. The question is, who do you do? And what that means is when you're performing live, who are the past musicians or performers that you've kind of consciously or subconsciously taken things from and become? Who are you subconsciously emulating when you're playing?
The singer of the Blood Brothers, for sure.
Which one? Isn't there
the blonde-haired one?
The blonde-haired one. Okay.
Yeah, I forget his name, but
the blonde blood brother.
Yeah, the one who wears the bandanas and the fucking shirt. You know who he is. Yeah. Sassy guy. That's a huge one for me. The other one would just be a little bit of like the walk shit from Paris is Burning. They're doing the walk offs and they do death drops, that kind of sassy drag queen almost. I know
the word sass is all over this episode. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
sass as a verb is
it's
awesome.
Me.
When I heard about Blood Brothers, they were described as a sasscore band.
Wow.
Teenage me was what is this band? And it was...
Okay, that's crazy that you heard that because I've been told that sasscore was a term before
Yeah.
And I didn't know. I never heard it before. So I always thought they were just like a sass rock band. And then so when I never heard that term. And then when Revolver, like back in like 2018, like first time we were ever in a magazine, we were still DIY band. Did like a stupid fucked up 47-day tour that I DIY booked myself.
Oh my God.
On Facebook. And so like they like dumbfounded, did a whole article on it. But they asked me what my band was, and I didn't know what to like label it. I took sass and metalcore, and I'm like, hey, we do sass and we have breakdowns. So I said sasscore. I was like, I didn't know it was a thing beforehand, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of it.
Kind of, Blood Brothers, kind of Daughters. Trying to think of the bands that you would see, because it was always American Nightmare. They were always the one.
Yeah.
And then AFI had Blood Brothers and like Christensen one time. Tried to just think of bands at the time, but yeah, definitely Blood Brothers.
That were sassy?
That were sassy. Norma Jean was real sassy.
Oh yeah, big time. Progressive emotional metal.
Yeah, that's a new one.
I
hope that gets picked up, because that's the most ludicrous way to define a band.
And I don't want it shortened. No prog emo.
No.
I want progressive emotional metalcore every time. PEM.
When you write descriptions for this episode, you're gonna write that out every single time on 100%. Every social media.
You can't wait to see it. You're gonna love it. All right.
I got one.
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna do the Golden Arches question.
Oh, please.
Connie. Now, you mentioned.
I think I know the answer.
I know you mentioned Taco Bell before, so I'm gonna bar it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Every Taco Bell just went out of business. It's a tragedy. It's an American tragedy. But you guys are zooming down the highway. You're in the CZ. You're big.
I'm chilling. I'm straight chilling.
But
100%.
you look up, you glance up through the tinted, the glare blocking window, and you see a sign that has a list of every fucking restaurant, every fast food place that exists in the country. And it's got your favorite one, and the one that you know your whole band is going to be cool with stopping at. Everyone's pumped. And it's not
But Taco Bell's closed forever.
Taco Bell's closed though.
Forever.
Probably. Okay, so everybody has to be stoked.
Everybody.
That's hard because we all have different things. For me, if I see a Chipotle, I'm hyped.
Okay.
Because that's like
I'm with you.
Fairly cheap for to eat vegan there. It's like $10 to get a bowl.
Yeah.
The veggie bowl.
Yeah, it's awesome. Or even with the sofritos.
The Sofritos.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, those are
But
Pretty good.
salty.
I think everybody would be chilling if we stopped at Carl's Jr.
Oh,
They got Beyond Burgers.
the Carl Beyond.
Yeah, they
is
got Beyond
unbelievable.
Burgers, and you just get in with no mayo and a cheese, and you're good to go.
The relish shit on there.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
good.
Good answer.
That would probably be the one I think everybody would happy with. But literally, and let's be real, on the road for like us, like we would much rather find a sick vegan spot in the city, and we'll wait till we're there to be like, oh, this is a cool spot to go eat.
Have you ever been to Handlebar in Chicago?
I think so. It sounds so familiar.
That answer doesn't sound like you've been. Because
Is it the diner or whatever?
That's Chicago Diner.
Chicago Diner.
Yeah. I've been to Demos. I love Demos in Chicago a lot.
Where Demos is from the Sub T, Handlebar is just on another street about as far away. Next time you guys are around, I'm going to take you to Handlebar. You're going to love it.
Vegan.
Okay,
it's all vegan, right?
It's fucking down.
It's all vegan, and I've said this 1,000 times before, but it's a vegan place that like my band, who now have no vegans, no vegetarians even, will all go and gladly eat. It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Do you remember when Veggie Grill first popped off?
Dude, shit rules.
It was so fucking good.
I love Veggie Grill.
We had native foods. Do you know the native food story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to eat there all the time.
It's the same. It's a married couple, right?
And they divorced.
She made Veggie Grill.
I think she made native foods. I think
Native Foods was like the prime, like, like you're like going on a date with somebody that they're like vegan or vegetarian, like, oh, like that just
like holy shit, this is like $18. That's fucking crazy.
This Cuban sandwich is fucking expensive.
And then Veggie Roll, I heard Veggie Roll no longer sells the Buffalo Bomber.
That
I don't know.
I
know they changed the menu a lot. I all I know is they took the one out of UTC, and I went there on a shopping spree, and I was like, I'm gonna go get some food. I'm so excited, and I walked there, and it was not there anymore, and I wanted to cry.
No.
Unbelievable.
What's a shopping spree? What do you like? This is a good question.
What are you into?
We never really talk about like Colin.
Oh, it's like
we
shopping?
can answer this too. Yeah.
If I go like shopping, I love like H&M because it's just like this like basics, cheap, easy. Because like I don't wear like a lot of like crazy clothes. Like if I want to do that, then I'll like go to like one of my homies who's a designer and be like, I have like shit I want made.
A casual flex, it's fine.
No, because it's not like it's like they're cool designs. I like their clothes. Like it's not like, I'm not like going to like Louis Vuitton and being like, yo, I want this.
Hey,
like,
Louis.
Yeah. No, but for the most part, like Forever 21 was a big go. Anthropology, I like Anthropology.
They got good candles.
Yeah,
fancy.
so it really like depends on like what I'm trying to get. If I'm just trying to get tour clothes, H&M all the way.
What about like stuff?
Stuff?
You like stuff?
I do like stuff.
You look around me. I fucking love stuff.
A lot of like Etsy, because like right now my house is being decorated with a bunch of like those pulp 50s like lesbian book novels.
Yeah.
Because like me and my girlfriend like clearly we're so you have to censor that, by the way.
Do I?
Steven. Yes. Steven.
Oh, is that not preferred nomenclature even from a lesbian?
Lesbians is the one.
Okay.
Interesting.
No, well, yeah.
Okay.
But
that reminds me. You, many years ago, had a personal crusade of taking back the F slur.
I still
on stage.
do. I say it all the time.
Wow. You're putting power on it.
Yeah, I say all the time. Beep that out, Steven.
I see.
I will go on stage and I the only reason I don't say it more is because my band was like, hey, on support tours, you're kind of scaring people away if you keep calling them that every time.
You know,
okay.
I worked for H&M for like 7 years.
Are you gonna tie this back into the F slur somehow?
Nah, we're just swinging back around. But I worked there for like 7 years and quit to do Warped Tour in my 30s. Colin, what do you like to buy?
Wait, I didn't get to finish.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I like buying candles.
Oh,
candles are great.
I love
Let's talk
candles.
candles.
I also buy
candles.
a lot of manga nowadays because
cool.
I found that I just like having the physical
one?
copies. And
Yeah.
I'll buy like me and Chloe will go on like book dates. Like so we'll like go to a bookstore and she'll like go look at like psychology books and I'll go like philosophy
Parallel
books.
reading.
Yeah. And so
Couldn't
like
be
do that. And but it's like weird for me because like I'm also like I'm non-monogamous. So like the activities like that like for like different people I'm like seeing, you know, everybody wants to do like their own little thing. So like I have like all my cute things with, like Chloe, she's like the girl I've been dating for 5 years, you know, like we live together. But then like everybody like has like different activities they like. So like when it comes to shopping even, it'd be like
You got a reading chick, you got a shopping chick.
I got you know, everybody likes different things. So like
100%.
I'm really like malleable and like you can take me almost anywhere and I'll find something that I like there and be like, oh cool, this is a cool store.
Love it.
Even like, fucking Hot Topic and Spencer's, like
Spencer's, you can get a good whoopee cushion there.
Spencer's you can get anything.
Hot Topic, you can still find a decent band shirt sometimes.
I mean, you can find SeeYouSpaceCowboy shirts there.
Really?
We do have
Good
a shirt
for
on
you.
Topic, yeah.
Man,
I love to buy
deal.
a good jacket.
Or brother,
a good,
Bo, you know I love my jacket.
Dude, a good jacket or a good like bag of any kind. Backpack, shoulder bag, whatever. I'm a sucker. I can't not.
Yeah.
Jackets.
I'm a sucker for a good pair of pants. A good pair of cargo pants, I'm a sucker.
See, I'm out on pants. I'm out.
You're out on pants?
They're the only thing I wear that wear.
Yeah, that's the fun part. And then you go, oh no, I gotta get a new pair of pants.
No, gotta go find a cool new pair of pants. Gotta go find a new camo cargo.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Which I found the best one.
Yeah.
I found the best one. I found the ultimate camo cargo.
Okay.
I'll tell you later.
You know what I've been thinking about recently is if I'm brave enough to do the camo shorts. I feel like I might be entering that era where I'm like, I've already been rocking the white belt, side strapped.
Yeah.
Got the hat.
You need a big like vegan belt buckle.
Dude.
Vegan.
That would be sick.
Full
if I could
all
find
caps.
one, I absolutely would rock that.
If you're listening, red zone if you're listening.
Do you know why I think the side strap belt thing started?
Why?
I think it's because of guitar players getting buckle rash on the guitar.
That would make total sense.
I actually
honestly.
think that that's like where it came from. Because now if you're wearing a studded belt, you're getting kind of uniform.
Yeah.
But if you're wearing something with a buckle, you're just fucking that up. You can't sell a guitar with buckle rash.
True.
Yeah.
It's a personal theory.
Interesting. It's a good theory. You know I love my items, Bo.
You have many.
You have many items.
I love
here.
items.
You have many items. I've been on a vinyl tear lately.
Well, now that we know we can write them off, it's like, why not? You
That
know?
rules.
You can do it too.
I'm sure I do. You have no idea how much stuff we write off
You
for
have
Cowboy.
to. You have to. You got to do it.
That's what Colin Feeney extraordinaire is
Oh
for.
my God.
He's probably somewhere out there.
He's making scams
he's
in my
scheming
living room
right now, bro.
Steven,
Probably.
bleep all of this, please, for the
No,
IRS.
Steven, leave it in. Write it off, Steven.
Write everything off.
Steven, write it off. That's awesome. I guess we've got some questions from our viewers here.
The Patreons.
The Patreon, HardLore, Patreon.com.
Please join the Patreon. For God's sake, join the Patreon.
They sent you some questions. We'll see. Let's pick out some good ones. Top 5 SASCore bands. Is there more than one?
Yeah,
No, there's a few.
I could like kind of try and break that down. You get loose with the definition.
Sure.
But Fear Before the March of Flames, Blood Brothers, Grayscale, Sins by Man, and that might be all of them. No, I mean Red Light Sting if we're counting SAS bands,
And
or
See
like
Space Cowboy, right?
I guess
Top 5 progressive emotional metalcore bands. Just
See
kidding.
Space Cowboy.
Yeah, 100%. There's only one.
One.
God damn it. I've heard Connie mention in an interview or two really wanting to start a beatdown project. Any news or updates on that?
No, because Ethan's been writing shit, and every time I go talk to him about it, I'm like, it'd be cool to do another Sgarbossa siblings band. You're already writing it, and he just literally blows me off and just like, yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll do it. So
He's really busy.
Do you play any?
no, he's not, because he doesn't have a job.
Oh my
He just sits and
God.
plays video games all day and writes music.
Well, that's
so.
important because they're pretty good now.
Yeah, I've heard.
You gotta check him out.
So I'm thinking about just booting his ass so I can just do this fucking band already.
Can you play guitar?
No.
You play any instruments?
No.
Oh, that's step 1.
I'm a terrible musician. I'm a visual artist.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah. You should get into games. They're
I
pretty,
gotcha.
they're good. They're pretty good now.
pretty good now.
Speaking of which, somebody asked favorite Drop Dead Gorgeous song / breakdown and favorite Silent Hill game. That's a good game.
Okay, so favorite Drop Dead Gorgeous song / breakdown would probably be Forever Scarlet off Be Mine Valentine. And favorite Silent Hill game is Silent Hill 2.
Beautiful
I
answer.
never played them.
They're great. Spooky. Scary.
I don't like being scared.
you are-
I don't need.
I love being scared.
I don't need it.
I'm desperate to be scared. If you scared me right now, I would be like upset about it for a second. I'd be like, ah! Thank God you did that.
Thank you, sir.
You already answered this. Go to comfort meal to make it home.
Oh,
That's fun.
Ooh.
that is fun.
I like to go to Trader Joe's and make my own vegan pizzas. So I go and get the vegan dough, and I get the whatever cashew pesto they have, put that down, and do the vegan mozzarella, and then put artichoke hearts, black olives, and a little bit of like balsamic glaze on it too.
That sounds delicious.
Sounds good.
It's great.
Fuck yeah.
Tastes amazing.
Vegan cheese has come a long way. I'll
It
tell you
has.
what.
Dude, I used to hate vegan
was
pizza.
awful.
I love vegan pizza nowadays.
It was Daya and Teas. And
Yeah,
that was it.
Oh, and the Follow Your
Terrible.
Heart one. But the vegan, what's it, Blaze Pizza? Pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, actually, Blaze Pizza is pretty decent.
Blaze and Mod are both pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blaze is fucking lit. I used to go all the time, just for fun. Most violent breakdown you've ever heard. Violent. What
I
is
feel
that?
like I already answered.
You've definitely
did,
answered
you did.
that. Those are your
What
favorite
about
ones.
the most violent breakdown you've ever witnessed? Like, have you ever seen a show where
Other
you're like,
than a kid getting drop kicked through a window.
I've seen. I feel like there's so many I've seen that they meld together. Cause
Yeah.
there are those shows you'll go to. It's like I don't know, like seeing like Sanction play back in the day and stuff like that. Where I'm like, that was kind of crazy. Murder Death Co was also kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But that could be my 16-year-old brain making
I
it
think
like
first
crazy.
murder death kill mention on HardLore in history.
easily. Yeah, for sure.
Congrats. Most exotic, outlandish pet you would up for realistically parenting?
Oh, I would do every animal if I could. Like, Callie won't let you do nothing. But I would take one of those like those maned wolves they have in South America.
Oh, cool.
You know, I would love that.
Dude, I'd like
That'd be sick.
I'd like a crow or a raven. They seem
Just so
cool.
much-
Dude, you know what? When I pass them on the street, I give them like a,
What's up? Like, I know.
because I know they know.
They know.
They remember me.
Hell yeah.
They've seen me my whole life.
Well, that's a
Anyway.
fact that they remember people who like chase them off and shit.
I know. I
Yeah,
would never.
don't
do that.
fuck 'em.
I bow down to the crows and the raven. Yeah. Look at this question. Are any of you Incubus fans? Because they can hear it on the new album.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely.
What are your favorite bands / artists coming out of San Diego at the moment?
I really dig Hereditary.
Great
Great
band.
band. And they're like the nicest fools. I love Gabe. Everybody in that band rocks. There's Barry But Still Breathing, which is AJ's other project, which is sick. They just played Midnight Hour, actually, I
Beautiful.
think. SeeYouSpaceCowboy. No. No, I mean, there's cool bands like Pierce Bond. I have a lot of just like homies in San Diego doing cool things right now. There's a lot of cool shows happening right now down there.
That's what it's, hardcore is popping in the country right now.
I'm seeing, I was just talking about earlier today. It seems to me like there are what we would traditionally consider smaller scenes, like really turning out.
Exploding.
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
Absolutely.
Videos of 100 people skanking at the same time.
It seems like South
brings a
Florida,
tear to the eye.
South Florida, Milwaukee.
Yeah, South Florida's going crazy. Jeff
is crushing it down
right now.
Jeff, you're doing amazing. Keep it up. Dream Tour. Wow.
Dream Tour. Like, are we talking like any bands I want?
Live or
like,
dead?
Name it.
Okay, the one. I'll take. Dude, I'll take like Drop Dead Gorgeous, I guess. Fear Before the March of Flames, Heavy with Lolo, and Blood Brothers.
Love it.
Yeah.
That tour.
If
makes
a
sense.
tour that would just be dope as a cowboy tour, not necessarily maybe the bands I want to see like the very most in the world.
Yeah.
But like as like a dope cowboy tour, I feel like that would be. Like,
I think that's
that
the
tour,
perfect thing for y'all.
That tour would do numbers. I'll tell you what.
Favorite bebop character.
Spike Spiegel.
Beautiful. This is fun. Which band's catalog do you think would make a great musical or Broadway show?
Pango Disco Fever, You Can't Sweat Out.
Wow.
I feel like that would be a cool ass one. It's got a whole theme. It's cabarets, burlesque, and it's dope. Yeah. Fever, You Can't Sweat Out. Pango Disco's my answer.
Beautiful.
Colin, Twitching would have a great Broadway show too.
Come
Come on.
I think that I feel like a Metallica one is currently being written. Yeah. Dude, Coheed. Give me a Coheed. Give me a Coheed Broadway show. Done. Typo Negative too would be.
No, that's true.
They're covering fucking Broadway songs. Top 5 Cowboys.
Wow.
Oh no.
Dan Young. Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Carol Young.
Jeff Daniels and True Grit.
Yes. Jeff Daniels and True Grit.
The Marlboro Man.
Is it Jeff Daniels or what's the
Jeff
big about
Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Excuse me.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber in True Grit. Thoughts on your recent tour of Australia?
It's my favorite country in the whole fucking
Really?
world.
It's crazy,
I
right?
had the greatest time over there. I want to go back so fucking bad. All we did was pet kangaroos, go swimming, get put up in nice hotels. Like I want to go back so bad. I'm pestering Colin every day to let me go back to Australia.
Fine, I'll let you go back.
No, you're my manager now, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I took over. Colin, you're fired. How are y'all so swag? That's a great question.
I don't know.
It takes hard work.
We were losers growing up, so now we're just like, ironically, that style has just become cool.
That's what I'm talking
I mean,
about
anime
right
is
there.
probably more accepted in popular culture than it ever has
100%,
been.
dude.
So it's
I
like
mean, growing up, my life was a mix of like I skated and I surfed every day, but I also went to anime club after school for middle school, watched like Wolf's Rain and shit on like the push out VHS TV.
hell
like,
yeah.
My life has always been a balance of like nerd shit, like played a lot of video games back then, and like my life as like a skate rap musician. Shit.
Beautiful. Here's the truth. The hottest women in the world are all playing Fortnite now. So the world has changed. You know? You ever play Fortnite? You gotta get it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Who is your favorite Pokemon that looks like a human? Mine would be Mr. Mime. What's yours?
Mr. Mime is good.
The only Pokemon I know that looks like a human is like Gardevoir or whatever. That one is from Sapphire. That's the last Pokemon I played.
Big fucker.
Scyther is kind of humanoid.
Kinda.
I mean, there's somebody out there that would fuck Scyther 100%. So that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Magmar.
say what you will about Bo. The guy loves Scyther. What was playing Tid the season like?
Oh, it's awesome.
Nice.
I like that year was crazy. Ghostface Killah played.
Oh yeah.
That is crazy.
I think Caven played.
Oh, that's the best band ever.
Maybe it was the Get Up Kids.
Is that the last one?
No, it was the one before the last one.
Okay.
Of course, Every Time I Die played.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember who else played. I don't know. It was a crazy thing. It was so cool. It was like I think we literally did a Last Night in Town rip just for that show of like the gun shirt.
Yeah.
Which is like a shirt that Ethan still wears to this day all the time.
Did you watch any wrestling or anything that they had?
Yeah, I watched some of it. Yeah, I was like checking it out because like they have that like giant like thing and like they treat you really well and shit.
Oh,
so like
yeah.
you would just like meander about, like go get a drink, like go back to the green room, like watch wrestling, like get out, stay on stage and be like watching whoever. Like so it's just a good time. It's fucking snowing outside. Though.
Yes,
cold.
Yeah.
It's the coldest place on earth.
We played it the one before COVID, and they had like the IV thing, like they had nurses there, and you could get like. Did you do that?
I did. Yes.
Dude, love it. I'm addicted to IVs.
Felt
now.
crazy.
I just want to try it. I hate IVs and I hate needles.
Really?
But I just want to try it.
Yeah.
You
Did
get so
like the way it
cold.
felt?
Yeah, it felt pretty cool.
You get freezing. It gets so cold.
Yeah.
It's like it reminds me of AG1. You know. Anyway, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, it's a hot dog.
That's a fair answer.
Wait. I have a really.
What is
Who's
your
asking me
favorite
that?
On Broken Wings mosh call?
It's clap, clap.
It's got it. It's got to
That's
be
all
clap,
it is.
clap.
That's it. No words, just claps. There's a reason we ripped it off on misinterpreting constellations.
Oh, somebody said a hot dog is a taco. How do you feel about that?
That's ridiculous. A taco has a tortilla. I think a hot dog
Yeah.
can be a sandwich, but not all sandwiches are hot dogs.
I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe.
But
I
just
just
like,
think it's its own genre, much like
Yeah,
Space Cowboy. Hot dogs are the progressive emotional metalcore of food.
yeah.
of encased meats, vegan encased meats.
Yeah.
100%. Favorite mosh move?
Spin kick.
100%. God, great answer. Incredible answer. Let's see. Favorite show moment from Flowers Tape Depends.
I feel like the last show we ever played at the Dial in Temecula. It was supposed to be the last cowboy show ever, and it was such like we were so into what we were doing that I think we all ended up lying on the floor. Silas like kicked over his entire drum kit, and Ethan was literally crying, like full crying. And we played like one final song, and we just all like screaming our lungs out, like just like probably weren't even playing anything at that point, just screaming. And then after Ethan was so like emotional, he went and locked himself in the car.
Just overtaken.
Yeah,
by the
literally,
power
it was
of
just
the
like
track.
the most stereotypical, like just let everything out.
Just let the music
Yeah.
consume
It's
me.
what Colin goes
That's
through when
awesome.
he drops his keys every day.
And then I drop my keys and I cry and I let that consume me. I lock myself in my car because I had to bend over in fucking Best Buy. Connie, do you miss playing house shows or smaller venues at all?
Every day. Yeah.
Beautiful. You could still do it.
I try. I go to war with the booking agents
Yeah.
and all the people and be like, fuck your venues, dude. Let me play Che Cafe. I don't give a shit.
How do you feel about being an Olympic level mosher?
I feel like I'm getting a little old and I'm not as good as I used to be.
I was gonna ask how old are you, Connie?
29.
You're all right. You're a young lady.
Just stretch.
I need to start stretching.
I'll show you the good shit.
The good shit.
Keep that leg going. Keep this one going. You know?
Wow.
You'll be
So
fine.
impressive.
What story / legend / mystery creeps you out the most when you hear or read about it? I feel like you're not a legend. You're not a mystery chick.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like it'd be like the Dyatlov Pass or something like that.
yeah,
Like,
What?
Yeah, like the people just dying in the mountains and not knowing why they're naked, and
Well,
that's pretty creepy because it's not like super like it's a mystery, it's a monster, blah blah. It's like it's just like what the fuck happened to these people?
Yeah, there's a thing that happens when you experience hypothermia where your body actually overheats and people
Yeah.
tend
Yeah.
to take off their clothes.
You want to strip off, yeah.
And that's what I think happens.
The Witch's Elm like tree skeleton one's pretty cool too. I was just listening to something about that. Like someone's like skeleton just like embedded into a tree, and everyone's like, "Ooh, why did this happen? How'd this happen?"
Fun.
Like was the skeleton there for so long that the roots like
Yeah, like this, like the body was there, and like the skeleton that was like propped up like into the tree, and like who put them there? Why are they
pretty
there?
cool.
Like,
It's pretty
yeah.
cool.
pretty cool. It's a pirates. Sounds like pirate behavior. Bo knows all about
I
that.
love pirates, dude.
At the midnight hour show, some of Dress for Friends' requests was played. Do you think we could get a full cover?
I mean, probably not, because like you just need that first part, and like just tease it. We were supposed to cover 94 Hours by Azalea Dying, but we just didn't learn it in time. That was gonna be the cover.
I want to know about the If I Die First split, how that came to be.
I've been homies with all the SoundCloud rappers and shit in LA, like Netarb and Lil Lotus and Zubin had all like reached out to me on like Instagram, be like, "Oh, yeah, we're like big Cowboy fans. Like, it's cool." I and Taylor and Ethan started going up to LA a lot to like kick it with them, and they told me that like, oh, like we really like what you're doing, Cowboy. Like, we're thinking about starting a band like too like that called If I Die First, and randomly as COVID hit, I think we were up there before like all the lockdowns, or like a little bit like after like lockdowns have been done. No, it was before it was like super serious, and I was like, you can't leave your fucking house.
Yeah.
It was like that period of like tours were canceled. We came back from the Sanction tour, but like we went out and like we're gonna write some shit with them, and then so like I just asked like, do you want to do this? And I said, yeah, you want to do a collab track as well? And they said yes, and then I had to fight Pure Noise because they didn't want to do it first. So I'm like, no, this is gonna be cool. Fucking do this, and we did it. We wrote it in like 2 days and all crammed in my apartment. We built the set for the video the next day and recorded the music video the next day.
That's what I'm talking
about. 4 days.
I love it.
I just realized that the last thing I went to before the lockdown started was the Sanction tour at Cobra in Chicago.
That's awesome.
That's I totally didn't even realize that.
It's history right here.
Yeah.
This is a really serious question. What is your favorite Muppet? This is serious. There is a wrong answer.
I like Kermit.
That's a great answer.
That's a great answer.
It's one of the many right answers. There's no wrong answer.
Dude, Animal all the way.
You're Animal? That
All
makes
the way.
sense.
He's fucking
You know
awesome.
I'm a Rizzo the Rat guy myself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know damn well I'm a Rizzo the Rat guy. Best shoes for spin kicks.
I actually really like these vegan tigers I just got. I've never felt more like nimble and agile on my feet. I used to say like I like my Nike Cortezes I would do it in, but
That's a classic.
But these tigers are sick.
What are they? Tigers?
Tigers. Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
I'll show you them.
I would love to see them. I'll go down and we'll check. Favorite
Travels.
release on 31G?
I mean, Plague Soundscape's probably like the greatest thing. I mean, 31G put out so much cool stuff and was like so instrumental to like San Diego's a cool thing. Like Plague Soundscape's probably that. Or like the Swing Kids. Yeah.
Your indexing of records and song titles is very impressive to me.
Really good.
You're just
Very
able to.
I've spent a lot of time being a music fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Going on blog spots and like the Cross My Heart with a Knife boards or like B9 or whatever.
Oh, you were on B9? Oh, we've been crossing paths our whole lives, Connie. Final question. Best mosh call of all time?
I have like two. One of them I'm not going to say because I don't want to get the band in trouble.
Fair.
But it is On Broken Wings. So if you know, you know.
Okay.
The other one is We Got Merch in the Back, Lumpy, the legend. That shit
That is so
crazy.
good. Dude, I've seen him do
insane.
that.
Yeah.
I've seen him do that in Europe.
That works every time.
I've seen him do it in multiple countries. It's so
Outstanding.
fucking funny. Yo, we
Well,
got
Connie,
merch in the
this was beautiful.
Yeah.
You have merch in the back.
Wherever
you are on this
every
tour.
night,
back. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. This is very special to have you in here. I hope you all had a great time. Coup de grace. SeeYouSpaceCowboy's new album is out now. And you can see him right now. You should.
You really should.
Thank you. Any imparting words of wisdom you'd like to leave?
2 words. Fuck 'em.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's a good motto to live your life by.
Bye.